It's time for Carterville Lions football. NewsRadio WJPF is proud to be the home of the Carterville Lions all season long. This broadcast is brought to you in part by First Southern Bank, IBEW Local 702, Clark Concrete, Shawnee Health, Ralph Small Engine, and the SIU Credit Union. Also supporting this broadcast, Central Hospital for Animals, Joe's Lawn Care, John A. Logan College, Banterra Bank, and Ward Chrysler. Also making this broadcast possible, the City of Carterville, Heather's Bake Shop, the Bank of Heron, and Polar Whip. It's time for Carterville Lions football. Here's Keenan Clark and the voice of the Lions, Dave McKenzie.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to week number 8 of the high school football season. Doc Bensini Field in Murphysboro is where Keenan and I decided to stop here tonight to watch high school football. Carterville Lions come in riding that perfect record, 7-0, after their win over Massac County last week, 50-7. Keenan, Carterville, they're on a roll this year.
Defensively, we mentioned earlier, they're just getting better every week. They're playing with more confidence, playing faster, still pursuing to the ball. Fortunately, they stayed relatively healthy throughout the season, and that always helps because you're not having to retrain and reposition guys as the year goes along. But what we've seen is a team that's matured throughout this season. Started out hot against Marion, and I feel like we've just gotten better every week.
Absolutely. And, of course, coming in to take on Gary Carter and the Murphysboro Red Devils, they are sitting at 4 wins on the season. They need that 5th win to get become.
You know, right now there's a lot of things that they have going for them. This is for a conference championship. They're also, you know, it's their senior night.
Yep.
They need one more win to become playoff eligible. Like, they have every reason to play well and come out super motivated and high energy and could give us trouble because of that.
And, you know, always it seems like this may be the toughest game of the season every year on the schedule because they do just so many different things with the ball.
They do. Primarily they like to run the ball well, but they're going to pull out a trick play here or there. They always find a way to get the ball to somebody that you didn't think that they were going to get it to. There's all kinds of different tricks in the bag for Murphysboro, and that's always what makes it tough to plan for.
And their main trick that they try to pull every possession is they want to confuse you. There's a lot of action in the backfield, a lot of motion, a lot of crosses, and you just never know who's actually coming out with that football.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Gerald's right before the game, a defensive coordinator who, by the way, has done a fantastic job this year. All of those guys have done great. But, you know, I know he does a lot of the X and O's for the defense and calls all the plays. And he says just be patient. Like, it's going to take a little while to figure out what they're trying to do because they are going to show us some new stuff. They're going to have a couple of wrinkles. You know, if they come out and move the ball a little bit early, just let our defense work that out, work out those problems, and he thinks that we'll have an opportunity to be just fine.
One of the keys of the game for the team this week, I was able to see their scouting report, and one of the keys in the game was focus on your key. Don't get caught up in looking around at all the stuff. If you focus on your key, then whoever your defensive assignment is against, if you just focus on that and ignore everything else, everything's going to come to you.
It's a pretty simple system that they run. They run it well, but it has a complex look to it. But it's still, they're going to try to trap you on the line. They're going to do pull. They're going to do a lot of inside runs. That's what they like to do, and it's what they're really good at. Their coach teaches that, and you know, I don't want to jinx us, but I think Coach Gerald has had a pretty good game plan the last couple of years, and let's hope that he can carry that over again this year.
That's Keenan Clark. I'm Dave McKenzie. It's your Ralph Small Engine pregame show, and man, I also want to say thank you to Murphysboro. I love our view here at Doc Bensini Field and the facilities they have for us. Comfy chairs that I can rock in during the game. See, I may wind up taking a nap if I rock too much.
Well, I'll nudge you if we have to,
if you would. We're going to go on and take our first break. I had a chance to talk to head coach Brent Dial, and we did that yesterday, but you get to hear it now. It'll be coming up here in about 90 seconds here from NewsRadio WJPF.
Bank with people you know and love Southern Illinois. First Southern Bank is a community bank that cares for and gives back to the communities we serve.
Anything left for you there, Steve?
Locally owned, local people, local decisions.
Ooh, look
unbeaten season going, which obviously would help us in the seedings. Trying to get as many of these home playoff games as possible, and the higher seed you have, the better chance you have of getting that. But yeah, we're going to have a battle. I mean, Murphysboro and Carterville game has been a very good one the last few years, and a little bit of a rivalry developing between the two programs, both kind of 4A perennial playoff teams, and you know, we know each other very well and play each other typically with everything we got.
That was where I wanted to go. Is this a game where you know what the other team's going to do? It's just who can stop who?
Well, I mean, I think that we both have, you know, tendencies over the years and kind of know what each team is trying to do. It's all about execution, and, you know, I don't think we know what's coming necessarily, but we definitely know what they want to do, and I think that they know what we want to do, and it just comes down to execution on Friday night.
Came off another impressive win. Johnny Miller was outstanding. Got to talk about Reggie Wilson. He's so fast.
Yeah, Reggie's doing a good job for us at the JV level, getting some carries and making some plays, and you know, get an opportunity there to get a big carry. And you know, the thing about him, if he turns a corner, you know, he gets a little bit of a seam, he's got a chance to break it. So we just hope that he continues to develop, you know, and get a little bit stronger and a little bit bigger, and he'll be a dynamic player for us for sure.
Of course, there is just the 2 games left. What's an area of this Lions team you'd like to see some improvement in the final couple of weeks?
You know, I'd say that really kind of in the middle part of the season, really around, I'd say weeks 3 and 4 especially, I thought we threw the ball decent, pretty well. And that's kind of faded on us a little bit the last few weeks. And part of the reason for that is we've kind of transitioned into a real power run team. We did that with Hopkinsville and you know, for the most part against Harrisburg. And then we really didn't run very many plays against Massac County, so we didn't get a very good look that night. But we got to make sure that we're able to do a little bit both. You know, there's going to be a day where some people are going to be able to match us up front, and we're going to need to be able to do something else. Can't just run right at everybody we play. So we need to make sure we can continue to throw the ball a little bit, just to keep people honest, if nothing else, and continue what we're doing up front.
Coach, thank you much.
Thanks.
In the world of construction, time is money. Introducing Clark Natural Stone's fleet of volumetric concrete mixers. With their state-of-the-art mixers, they mix the exact amount of concrete you need on site, saving you time and money. Stop paying for concrete you do not use. From foundations to driveways, sidewalks to patios, call Clark Natural Stone at 618-997-3889. Clark Natural Stone, shaping the future of construction, one pour at a time.
SIU Credit Union knows what it means to be a part of a team. Whether you're on the field or in the stands, community is what it's all about. They're not just here for your financial needs, they're here to give back, because people helping people is at the heart of everything they do. You can join SIU-CU if you live or work in one of the lower 24 counties in southern Illinois. That's right, if you're a Lions fan, you can be a part of their team too. Learn more at SIUCU.org. SIU Credit Union, your financial home team. Membership required, insured by NCUA.
Looking for a bakery that's anything but ordinary? Heather's Bake Shop in downtown Carterville is serving up sweet surprises every day. From fresh cinnamon rolls, cookies, scones, cream horns, and muffins, all made from scratch with love and other natural ingredients. And don't forget the coffee bar. Sip on hot or cold brews, espressos, or a latte while enjoying a grab-and-go breakfast or lunch, all made just the way you like. Stop by Heather's Bake Shop in downtown Carterville or catch them at local vendor events. Heather's Bake Shop, baked with love, served with a smile.
Welcome back to Murphysboro. Dave McKenzie and Keenan Clark as the Carterville Lions make their way out of the locker room here for this matchup for the conference title against the Murphysboro Red Devils. And there's a lot of good games going on tonight, Keenan. But got looking through Black Diamond, you got CZRE at Fairfield, Edwards County at Carmine, El Dorado at Cesar-Valera, Waltonville. Johnston City will play Red Hill tomorrow. Cahokia, Chester is at Redbud. How about Chester knocking off undefeated Dupo a week ago?
Yeah, nice win for the Yellow Jackets over there.
Sparta at Steelville. Westland at Carlisle. Breeze Central is at Columbia. Of course, Breeze Central, They are just an outstanding team this year. Let's run down to other river-to-river conference games tonight. AJ at West Frankfort, Benton and Pinckneyville. And the game of the night, along with this one, I do believe, probably is Nashville at DuQuoin.
Yeah, they've got a lot of parity over there on the Mississippi side this year. You've had West Frankfort's had a good year, Nashville, and then obviously Benton, DuQuoin. Like you've got some teams over there that put together some good records, and it seems like every week there's something of value and importance going on in that conference.
The other side of the Ohio in the river-to-river tonight is Harrisburg at Heron. I would actually like to see Nathan Lieber pick up his first win of the season tonight.
I would too. He's not put together a full, complete game yet. They've played some good halves and they've had some good quarters. They just haven't put it all together. But that's expected from a team that's rebuilding and a first-year coach. Some
South 7 games tonight. Big one is in Carbondale, the Marion Wildcats and the Carbondale Terriers. Mount Vernon at Centralia. That could be a good game tonight. And so we'll update the scores as we go along here this evening. Football polls that came out this week as we continue here on our Ralph Small Engine pregame show. In Class 2A, you have Johnston City at number 7, DuQuoin at number 10. Nashville is up now, and they're up to number 12 in the Class 2A standings. Class 4A, you have the Benton Rangers. Benton has jumped Carterville in the AP rankings this week. Nobody pays attention to that except for me and you and other broadcasters, but Benton at 6, Carterville dropped a spot to number 8 this week.
You know what I'm more interested in than the rankings and the polls, but what class they have them in. We don't know that Benton's going to be a 4A team. And so whenever you're looking at that, like right now they're projected that way, but if they end up going 3A, that changes the landscape completely down here in Southern Illinois.
Absolutely. Bree Central, we mentioned them earlier. They are number 9 in Class 4A, and then you have Cahokia that is number 12 in Class 4A. The John A. Logan Coaches Poll came out this week as well. That was released yesterday. Benton still number 1, Carterville still number 2. DuQuoin sets at number 3, Johnston City at number 4, and number 5, Nashville. Can't really argue with the top 5 programs in Southern Illinois.
No, they've been pretty consistent in how they've chosen those, and that's pretty much where we're going to be set.
We're going to go on and take our final break here on our Ralph's pregame show, the national anthem, and then we've got your kickoff coming up on News Radio WJPF.
High school football is here, and that means the return of Friday Night Live. I'm Darren Kennard, and you can join me live on Facebook after tonight's game for River Radio Sports Central's Friday Night Live. Catch all of tonight's scores and join in the discussion on the River Radio Sports Central Facebook page. River Radio Sports Central, powered by Clark Concrete, Ward Chrysler Center in Carbondale, and IBEW Local 702. I'll see you live on Facebook tonight for Friday Night Live.
Looking for the right shoe with the right fit for running, hiking, or walking? RTS Outfitters in Marion is just for you. At RTS Outfitters, they do a unique 4-step fitting process that reveals your gait and foot characteristics. The right shoe with the right fit just for you to help reduce injuries and increase comfort. RTS Outfitters carries top brands like Hoka, Brooks, On Cloud, North Face, Garmin, and more, plus accessories and hydration supplies. Visit RTS Outfitters in Marion or at rtsoutfitters.com.
This is Southern Illinois' number 1 for news and talk. News Radio WJPF, 1340 AM Heron and WCIL 1020 AM Carbondale. A member of Max Media.
Well done on the national anthem by Murphysboro High School Band as we're just moments away from the kickoff here. Senior night for this Murphysboro Red Devil team. And
the band is directed by Mr. Nick Williams, who used to be at Carterville band director several years ago.
Absolutely.
I went and spoke to him before the game, wished him luck, and all of those salutations.
We welcome the Lions of Carterville High School.
This Red Devils team has 11 seniors on it this year. And, of course, Carterville was able to celebrate their senior night a week ago against Massac County. So a lot of emotion here this evening with this Red Devil team. And Gary Carter, he's always got his squad ready to go.
They do. They have 11 seniors. They also have a freshman that has had a pretty good season going so far. Number 22, Keegan Shields, has had a really nice start to his career. But, yeah, like you said, Gary Carter He's known as a very good coach, successful coach in Southern Illinois, and look at this Murphysboro crowd. They always bring out a really big following. The entire town shows up, it seems like, when we play in Jackson County.
Absolutely. When you look at the head-to-head against these between these two teams, we'll start first with Carterville. They come in. They have thrown for 1,015 yards this season overall, averaging about 100, or excuse me, passing 1,015 yards. I think I got my numbers on the wrong side here. We'll go at it this way. First downs. Carterville has 128 first downs on the season. They allow just 63 on the season. That just kind of shows you what their defense has been like.
Yeah, and it's not just been the lack of first downs. It's been the negative yardage plays that I continue to be impressed with for these Lions. They come out so fast and so hard, and they don't let you get an inch.
So, Murphysboro getting ready to take the field as they come right down between the hash marks here at Doc Benzini Field. They wind up on the Red Devil logo at midfield. And we are just moments away from the kickoff. We appreciate you listening here on News Radio WJPF. Also, just before we get into everything this evening, want to say congratulations. You heard him on the intro to our game here this evening, but we want to say congratulations to Tom Miller on his retirement today. Yeah. 49 years he's been in radio.
Ooh, 49 years?
Yep,
that's as long as I've been alive.
I know, 49 years. It's hard to believe, but we'll keep him on the promo on the open for the rest of the season. That'll be awesome. Carterville trying to keep their undefeated season here this evening at Murphysboro. Murphysboro setting on 4 wins. They need 5 to become playoff eligible, so a lot of importance here for both of these squads this evening. One thing, this Carterville team, Carterville was on fall break. You were on fall break all week.
I was.
Murphysboro had school all week. Do you think that makes a difference in focus?
Well, we practiced it in the afternoon. We kept the 3 o'clock practices, kind of going into sundown and whatnot. But does it make an impactful difference? No. Does it make a difference? Probably a little bit. I mean, it throws your routine off a little, but I don't think that it's going to be anything that impacts the game in a positive or negative way. It's just different. And when you get to the playoffs, routines go out the windows. You have an extra day in a lot of times. It just changes how everything is done. You're implementing new things, probably seeing offenses, defenses you may have never seen. So there's nothing wrong with just a little bit of change in the schedule from time to time.
I hope not. I hope there's not any. That's what we say. Hey, when you look at the Ohio Division standings, Murphy and Carterville tied with 2 wins in the Ohio Division. Harrisburg is 1-1, Massac 1-2, Heron is 0-3. So this is for that conference title, and these 2 teams have kind of went back and forth who wins the conference title. Of course, Carterville won it a year ago. They'd like to win it again this year.
They would. And last year was that first win in the Ohio Division, and they've won the Mississippi Division. It'd be nice to get that next title up on the banner. Of course, everybody wants to talk about the postseason, how far you go. Can you get to the quarterfinals or even further? But it's nice when you're in high school, you graduate, you move on, you come back, and you look up at the banners in the gym, and you see, that was my year. That was the year that we won conference. I remember that. It'll have a special place if you can throw that number up on the wall.
So Carterville is going to get the football to start things off, and Murphysboro is going to be kicking off, and it'll be David Boudette that does the kicking for the Red Devils as he gets the football and tees it up at the 40-yard line. We're glad to have you with us here on News Radio WJPF. You can go over to YouTube and you can watch the live stream with the radio call as well. We invite you to join us. Ball's teed up. Officials are out there ready to go. Carterville sends Reggie and Johnny Miller deep. They're both standing at the 15-yard line. We're just waiting on the officials to blow the whistle. And I think we're about ready to go. Should be a dandy as we're getting ready to kick off. Here's the whistle we've been waiting on. The approach and the kick, and they try an onside, and it's fielded. They tried to float a short kick and thinking maybe Carterville wouldn't be prepared, but a good job there by Carterville's Jackson Labat to cover that up.
Yeah, he caught the ball and got hit immediately. It was actually a well-executed play. You know, you can call for a fair catch on that on a kickoff.
Carterville has it. The first possession of the game, and quarterback Andy Johnson comes to the field with his Lions squad. They're going to set the ball down at the 43-yard line. Andy Johnson on the season is 55 of 86 throwing the ball for 5 touchdowns.
Looks like we're going under center. We've got double tight wishbone. Well, we've got a tight end strong set left wishbone here.
Which is what the Lions have kind of become this season. They send a man in motion, and Carson Davis, he lines up on the far side. They turn around, they give it to Johnny Miller, and he finds an opening. He has a first down and more down the far sideline across the 40-yard line and the 30-yard line, and it takes about 5 Murphysboro Red Devils to bring Johnny down, and what a nice start for the Lions. That was a big old gain for Carterville.
I think you've credited them when you said it took 5, because I'm pretty sure there were only 3 kids that weren't in on that pile from Murphysboro to get him down. And I'm still not sure that he was going down until they blew the whistle.
Man, he took it all the way down to the Murphysboro 10-yard line. What a way to start for the Lions. From the far hash, Johnson again under center, gives it to his fullback. A flag comes in. The carry by Carter Jones, and he fights his way forward to about the 25, but there was a flag. And we'll see what the call is going to be. Is it?
Carter was also not ready to go down either.
The officials have a conversation.
Did they pick the flag up, or what are they deciding here?
Hard to tell as the white hat goes over to the far sideline to talk to Brent Dial. So that would indicate maybe it's against Murphysboro, but no signal yet.
Unless it was a sideline warning? No.
It's against Murphysboro. Still no indication on what the call was. But instead of 1st and 10, it's going to be 1st and 5 for the Lions from the 24-yard line. So Johnson again under center, gives it to Miller. He got another block, spins his way down to about the 15-yard line, keeps fighting to the 10-yard line. Could he break free? Keep going, Johnny Miller. And coming in and helping, there was Jamie Jones. And, man, there was that whole defensive squad had Johnny and couldn't bring him down.
We're just winning the battle up front. Bryce Ryman carried him for about 3 yards till Miller spun away from even him, and then Jamie Jones picks up the slack and helps him moving forward. It looks like Johnny Miller's ready to get some yards tonight.
The ball is at the 10-yard line for the Lions, and to give up the gut and brought down that time for the Carterville Lions on the carry. I didn't even see who it was.
Carter Jones with the ball on that. You go back to the risk-reward onside kick early on. It works. It's great if you get it, but otherwise, Carterville took the ball over right at the 50. They've not had to do a whole lot to get the ball down into the red zone.
2nd and goal from the 5. Falling forward, touchdown for the Carterville Lions, and that is Jamie Jones, and it comes here at the 10:03 mark.
If you remember last year, Jamie had a fantastic game, particularly on defense, and he was probably a thorn in their side for most of the day. And then tonight he comes out with that first touch, but Carterville spreads the ball out a little bit. All of the running backs get a little bit of touch here, and now we're going to see if we can start off with a quick 7-0 lead.
A 6-play drive for Carterville, and they lead it here 6-0 pending the PAT. Snap, the kick is good, and the Lions lead it 7-0 here at the 10:03 mark of the first quarter. We'll be back here on News Radio WJPF.
John A. Logan College is proud to support area high schools in the classroom and on the playing field. John A. Logan offers high schools
Welcome back. It's Dave McKenzie, Keenan Clark. Lions score first here at the 10:03 mark of this first quarter, and they lead it 7-0. It's a good drive. Good way to start off the ball game.
Good power running game on that. Offensive line did a really good job of coming off. Lead blockers were doing well, and then that's been the signature for the Lions all year.
So Carterville getting set to kick away. They do, and it's going to be taken at about the 7-yard line off the chest of the return man, trying to get out here to the near side on the return, Keegan Shields, and Shields is brought down, and Murphysboro has the football here on their first possession of this ball game.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Wakey before the game. We were talking about you always have some sophomores that show up and do some things that help you out, and right there we have 3 sophomores. You've got Micah Jones and Cal Dunning, Reginald Wilson, all 3 of them on the kickoff team, trying to earn their place for the next year. Great job on the gang tackle, not giving up a big return. Murphysboro is not going to start with as pretty of an offensive positioning as the Lions were.
They take the ball out to the 21-yard line. That's where Murphy's going to start, and quarterback Keegan Shields, the freshman, he's 6'1", 195, wears number 15, and he's been outstanding this year. Or excuse me, Jacob Schuler, my apologies. He's 6'2", he's a junior. And he works from the shotgun. They send 2 receivers out to the far side. They put man in motion, but it's a give to that motion man. That's Shields. Shields trying to catch a corner, and somebody grabbed a hold of his jersey and kind of held him up, and Carterville brings him down. So good defensive stop here for the Lions. Doesn't look like there's any gain on that play. Actually, they're going to mark it forward about a gain of 2.
Another good job of pursuing to the ball. You don't want to get caught in over pursuit and set yourself up for the big reverse or the big home run ball on the backside. But our guys do get to the ball really well. They've got a lot of speed, and they're agile enough in order to maintain and keep the ball corralled in front of them. That's a great job defensively.
Jacob Schuler comes to the near side, gets his play, hustles back to the huddle, and Murphysboro comes to the line of scrimmage as Schuler, again, he stays in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers here to the near side, spreads one out to the far side. There's actually 2 out there, looks to throw, throws the short pass. It's caught short of the first down. It's going to be a gain of about 4, it looks like, for Murphysboro. So they're facing a 3rd down and short.
Looks like they had Agnew, number 3, got loose on this weak side for a long shot. I wouldn't be surprised to see them take a shot downfield with him later on, because I think he got behind our defense on that last play, but not part of the script, not part of the plan. They didn't try to get the ball to him, and that was probably a benefit to us.
3rd down and 3 for this Red Devil offense. Carterville leads at 7-0. Devils have the ball at their own 28-yard line. As Schuler takes the waist-high snap, hands it off, and Carterville's going to bring him down short of the first down. Good defense once again on the carry. They take it out to about the 30-yard line, but that's going to be about 2 yards short. So will Gary Carter go for it that deep in his own territory on 4th and 2?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think you can't be too intimidated by Carterville's offense. You've got to let your defense work and try to figure some things out. Looks like they're going to bring the punt team out here right now and say, we're going to pin you deep and make you put together another drive.
Carterville has held their opponents to just 17% efficiency on 4th down, 5 of 28. They've only allowed 5 first downs on 4th down all season long. So Murphy getting ready to punt. Good snap. Pretty good kick. It's going to be taken at about the 41-yard line across midfield, getting to the outside, to the 40, to the 30, down the left sideline, finally spun down. That is Carterville's Jack Dodson on the return, and Jack carries it deep into Murphysboro territory.
We talked about him a lot last week, and this week, once again, he delivers. He's part of the punt return whenever we're not sure if they're going to go for it or not, and we just drop him back in safety and let him bring that back. And wow, what a job he did there. He had one man to beat, had he not got past number 50, or if he'd gotten past number 52, he would have walked into the end zone. So made some good moves and a good adjustment there. So much for field position. They'd have been better off to go for it.
Ball is at the 20-yard line. Turn around, give it to Jamie Jones. Jamie goes to about this 8-yard line. That's where it's going to be around the 9. So a gain, to the 14-yard line. So a gain of 6.
Jamie and the other running backs have ran so hard, and they're hard to get down. They're giving our offensive line time to get in there and help move that pile. We had Ethan Hendricks pushing. We had Bryce Ryman pulling on that to try to get an extra yard or two. And that's going to help us out quite a bit.
Lions trying to extend the 7-0 lead here at Murphysboro. From under center, Andy Johnson keeps it himself, trying to pick up the short yardage. It's going to be a little bit short, so it's going to bring up 3rd and short now for Carterville.
You know, it looks like an absolute mosh pit down there. Everything's just muddled up right there on top of the ball, but it's moving in our direction. It's moving in Carterville's positive way. And so Murphy's getting everybody in the box, but they just can't seem to stop the box from moving.
3rd and 2 from the 12 for the Lions. And powering forward, first down for the Lions. A new set of downs and a great run right up the gut for Carterville.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Did Andy Johnson keep that one, or did he give that one to Carter?
He gave it to Carter
Jones?
Yep.
So first man through the line is your offensive line is getting their blocks and opening up just a little bit of a crease so that he can get one-on-one with the backer.
1st and goal from the 6-yard line for Carterville. 5:36 remaining here in the first quarter. This is the 5th play of this drive for Carterville.
What is that?
And Miller carries it in for the touchdown, 6 yards from Johnny Miller.
Again, first guy through the hole, really good job on the front side. We're going to come up here and try to put a on Murphysboro. Right now, they don't seem to have an answer for the run game at all.
So 6 yards for Miller. And the extra point is good. And the Lions lead at 14-0 here at the 5:20 mark of the first quarter. Carterville Lions lead it 14-0 here on News Radio WJPF. Sorry about that, Bub. We should be good now.
No problem. We don't know what happened there. I just came back to say WJPF.
Okay.
I'm having connection problems on my sideline here too.
Coming back in 10 seconds.
Okay. Johnny Miller scores on the 6-yard touchdown run for the Carterville Lions. They lead it 14-0 here at the 5:20 mark. Dave McKenzie, Keenan Clark with you here on this Friday night. It's week 8. Carterville trying to remain undefeated on the season. 2 good drives for Carterville.
Already, yeah, they've had good position to work with. Great job defense and special teams to get them there.
Kickoff is taken at the 15-yard line and gets out to about the 25-yard line, but before Carterville defenders get to him, so Murphy's going to have their second possession of the game here at the 5:13 mark.
Keaton Bissolo, the first man to the ball, again, doing a very good job of pursuing. The special teams have been a little overlooked the last couple of weeks or overshadowed, I should say, because everything else is clicking too, but we've done a nice job in the kicking game. Our punt return team has done a very good job. And did you see some of the balls that Jamie Jones was bombing before? I hope we don't need him tonight, but, man, I'd love to see that ball in the air tonight.
I think you're right. Jacob Schuler, the quarterback for Murphysboro, puts a man in motion, gives it to his running back, and right there at the line of scrimmage, no gain for Murphysboro. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10 here.
obviously recognizing the run-heavy approach that Murphysboro is taking right now. We brought in an extra defensive lineman and try to help out with that in the middle and fill that block. So we now have Jackson Smith coming in, move Jamie Jones up to the line of scrimmage, play off that outside linebacker, comes up more like a defensive end here.
So Murphy picked up 1 on that last carry. It's 2nd down and 9. Ball is at the 26-yard line. Schuler gives it to his jet back as he makes the cut. That's Shields. Shields is gang tackled by about 4 Carterville Lions right there. Just not much being allowed by this Lions defense.
No, really good job there. Pursuit from the linebackers. We had 2 linebackers in on that one. Carter Jones is one of the first ones that hit him. And then we're also bringing up Zach Carter, the corner, in on that tackle as well. There's just nothing there. They're not finding any kind of seams with that front 4 that we're dropping in front.
So it's 3rd down and long, 3rd and 8 to be exact, from the 27-yard line.
Well, we see him try to pass it here, try to loosen up that box a little bit.
Jacob Schuler, some confusion in the backfield, and he just has to keep it himself, and he got pile driven into the turf.
He was full steam ahead and didn't have anywhere to go, so he just tried to run to a little daylight there on the end, and Andy Johnson saw that coming. And when he hit Andy, it was like he ran into an absolute brick wall. He stood straight up, and like you said, Andy picked him up and just slammed him onto the ground.
So it's 4th down. Carterville get the ball back. Murphy setting up for the punt here. 4th and 9, or excuse me, 4th and 6. There was a gain of a couple on that. Another kick, and it's going to be taken at the 38-yard line for Carterville. That is Jack Dodson once again getting to the outside and got it across midfield. So Carterville's going to be starting in plus territory here. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Malone's Early Learning Center in Carterville, offering programs for infants to school-aged children, as well as pre-K and Head Start. It's the best care anywhere. That's Malone's Early Learning Center. 2:48, Carterville, their 3rd possession of the game.
Well, if you get a good drive here and score, and you're up 21-0 by the end of the first quarter, talk about absolutely deflating
yes.
the opponent is what that's going to do.
Crowd.
It's gone silent out there.
It has. Right from the midfield stripe, Johnson gives it to Jamie Jones. Jamie picks up about 4 yards on that carry. Takes it down to about the 46 of Murphysboro. So it's going to be 2nd down and 6 from the 46.
Really haven't seen us stretch the ball outside of the tackles yet, but we haven't needed to. We're getting 5, 6, 7 yards a chunk.
Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6 for Carterville.
So it's 14-0. Lions have it. 2nd down and 6. Johnson, again, that wishbone behind him. A flag comes in, stops the play. Be against Carterville. Somebody jumped early.
That's what that flag would indicate. We had someone leaning or moving on the snap. Might be the first negative yardage play we had in a pre-snap penalty.
So instead of 2nd down and 6, it'll be 2nd and 11. They back it up to the -49.
This is only maybe the 2nd play that we've ran from our side of the field.
It is. So here come the Lions with 14 on the play clock, leading 14-0. It's 2nd down and 11.
They've got to check at the line of scrimmage. Someone's walked up. They're going to switch to something else here.
Johnson's going to keep it himself, and he picks up a couple. Gets back about to the original line of scrimmage, maybe just about a half a yard past that. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10 now for Carterville. Carterville on 3rd down this season have converted on 50% of their 3rd downs, 32 of 63 on the year.
That's impressive.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 now from the 49 of Murphysboro. Carterville throw the ball. They haven't really had to throw a whole lot, but this might be one of those spots. Let's find out. Johnson from under center. He does drop back, does want to throw, throws it across the middle, has his man incomplete. Good coverage there as it was intended for Cal Dunning.
I think that was Gavin Johnson that was lined up on the end of the far side, and he's had a really good start. I know at the lower levels they throw to him a lot because he's got a lot of speed, good hands, and he can get down the field in a hurry. He's been doing our kicking as well so far tonight, but great coverage on the defensive side of that.
So 4th down, Carterville setting up to punt. And you heard Keenan talk about Jamie Jones bombing some punts pregame. We'll see what he does here. Pretty good kick. Coming up and taking it. And Carterville's defense right there. First line, second line, third line comes in. Not much of a return for Murphysboro.
40 yards in the air. But again, if you're watching that play, if you could have seen that play, what you notice is the pursuit. We had 2 guys that had missed him that still ended up on the tackle. Like as soon as they get lost off the ball, they're getting right back up and getting into it. And that's been a signature of our defense as well this year, is a really good pursuit and our stick-to-itiveness.
Lions broadcast brought to you by IBEW Local 702, providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all. Lions up 14-0. 43 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. It's been a quick first quarter. Here come the Red Devils.
Like we said earlier, they've always been prone to coming out with something, some sort of magic trick or misdirection early on.
As the second man through and Carterville picked it up quickly. Shields on the carry. Not anything there at all defensive for Shields. Carterville's defense was right on top of it.
Yeah, you had a middle linebacker, an outside linebacker, and a defensive lineman. All 3 of them were there. If any one of them could have not made it, and it still would have been a no gain. Again, I think they got back to the original line of scrimmage is where the ball's been marked.
Yep, the 23.
It looked like there were 3 fake handoffs before they ever gave him the ball. There was a lot of.
He was the third option.
He was the third option coming through.
So Schuler can't get the playoff before the end of the quarter. 14-0 is our score here from Murphysboro on News Radio WJPF. This is the end of the first.
It's a pretty quick quarter.
Yeah, it was.
But now you know Darren is 390. Darren 9 will give you.
Okay. That was a good half of or quarter of. See, Brian's got me thinking it was halftime, but it was a good first quarter for the Carterville Lions as we head to the second. They lead it 14-0.
Defense has done a nice job of taking care of the line of scrimmage. Offense is taking care of the line of scrimmage as well. We've been running the ball pretty well. The time we did try to make throw a pass, it came up a little bit short, but still like what we've seen early on in this game. Both sides of the ball.
Second down and 10 from the 23-yard line. A man in motion. It's the give to the running back as Carterville just stacks him up again. They are not allowing hardly anything at all on that line.
No.
They're just busting through there, the defensive line.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, you remember our offensive line is moving that box and moving the entire pile forward on contact, whereas it seems to be going backwards for Murphysboro when they are on offense.
They did mark it as a gain of 1 as they get it out to the 24-yard line. But it's 3rd down and long, 3rd and 9 for the Red Devils. Schuler, the junior quarterback from the shotgun. Rolls to his right, wants to throw it. Throws it deep the right side, going up for grabs, and was it caught?
Intercepted.
They can say intercepted. Carterville, it was a jump ball out there, and Carterville comes away with it.
I tell you, that looked like an old school basketball rebound. Drake Cappy saw that. The ball was in the air forever. And what is Drake, 6'3" now?
Yep.
He bodies up with him, goes up, gets his body, or gets the man on his back hip, and pulls that ball down, actually wrestled it away on his way to the ground. Great job using your leverage for Drake. Way to read that. Excellent play. Get Carterville the ball again inside of Murphysboro's territory.
1st and 10 from the 44-yard line for Carterville. And Carterville defensively, they have just been outstanding this year in getting turnovers. And Drake Cappy is one of the leaders in that. As Carterville throws it out the far side, busting down. This could be a touchdown for Carterville on the pass play. How about that? That is going to be a 44-yard touchdown pass for your Carterville Lions.
We knew Hayden Harrell was capable of doing that, and this is one of those where if you catch the defense a little slow getting into position, and you notice we rushed out to the ball, we got our guys down. I saw Murphysboro's interior line was still a little confused on where the strength was at and where they needed to be lined up, and we got the ball snapped and out to Hayden before they could ever make that adjustment, and he was gone, untouched into the end zone.
10:57 mark of this second quarter. Lions have blown it up to 20-0, pending the PAT. There's the snap, and the kick is good. 21-0. It is all Carterville here in this first half so far on the road at Doc Benzini Field in Murphysboro. Back in 30 seconds.
The Bank of Heron has been serving Southern Illinois since 1937.
Welcome back to Murphysboro. Carterville leads it 21-0 on the road here against the Murphysboro Red Devils. As Murphy's going to get the ball back again. 44-yard touchdown pass from Andy Johnson to Hayden Harrell. The ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Murphy going to get the ball back again. This Murphysboro crowd is eerily quiet.
They haven't had a lot to cheer about yet.
Kick is taken at the 18-yard line, and it's Drayden Castrion that picks that up. But he got hit by his own man in his back, and he wound up falling to the turf.
Your return man, number 22, Shields, was coming up to field that kickoff, and then the up back had kind of dropped back into it, and they ran right into each other. It's a good thing for them that he actually held on to the ball.
Yeah.
But he did end up knocking him to the turf, so there's no return. It's automatic down where he touches.
So it's 1st and 10 now for the Red Devils from their own 20-yard line. Here comes Jacob Schuler.
I think Murphysboro's going to have to come up with something different. Like what they've been trying hasn't worked, so we're going to find out if they've got another trick up their sleeve.
So Schuler has 3 receivers right. He does throw it out there to the far side. It's caught, and Carterville's right there. It's going to be a gain of 5 on that pass play, bringing up 2nd down and 5 now for Gary Carter and the Red Devils.
Good idea. Loosens everything up a little bit. Quick screen out to Jeremiah Vaughn. That's who they were trying to get the pass to earlier, and he made a nice little move there in traffic and picked up 5 for him.
Great crowd from Carterville over on that far sideline. Beautiful night. Glad we're playing on Friday night and not trying to play this tomorrow night with all the weather that's expected tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree.
2nd and 5. Schuler rolls to his left, pumps, and then throws. Has a man, first down. That's going to be the first down for the Murphysboro Red Devils as they get it out near midfield on the reception by Jeremiah Vaughn.
Looked like a deep route was developing. He turns around and comes back to the ball. And when he catches it, he slips the first tackle and made a nice little run upfield before Carterville gets him knocked out of bounds. But we're starting to see them trying to get the ball out of the pocket a little bit and throw the ball to Vaughn, who's been their target in their last 3 consecutive plays.
So first down, that's the first down for the Red Devils. Comes here at the 10:04 mark of the second quarter. They have it at their own 47. Schuler from the shotgun, lifts the leg, puts the ball in play, gives it to his tailback, and banging his way out for a gain of about 7. Keegan Shields on the carry.
That's what a good offensive coordinator is going to do. He's thrown 2 good successful passes. He's loosened up that defense, and he found a little seam in the middle where they could pick up a positive gain on the ground, and now their offense is starting to get on some wheels a little bit.
2nd and 4 from the 47-yard line of Carterville.
Last time we gave Vaughn on that far side, we gave him about a 12-yard cushion off the ball. This time we've shrunk it up just a little bit.
To about 6 yards.
Yeah.
So Schuler again looks left, pumps and throws it deep, has a man out there, and it falls incomplete. Good coverage, nice recovery by Carterville, as again, it was Jeremiah Vaughn that had gotten by the defender, and for Carterville on the coverage, Zach Carter threw his arms up, and the ball hits him in the back.
Vaughn's listed as 5'5", 120. He's not a big receiver, but he was very quick and got open about 7 yards down the field. Now keep in mind we had a corner there 6 yards deep, and it didn't take him long to get a step on him. And once he got that step, it was not a poorly thrown ball at all, but good job for Zach Carter to recover and be a part of that play.
So Murphysboro facing a 3rd down and 4 from the plus 47 of Carterville. 21-0 is our score here in the second quarter, 9-12. And up the gut, that defensive line shuts that down again on the carry. That was William Falconberry. So 4th and 4 now for the Red Devils.
21-0, and they're moving the ball a little bit. I would suspect that they're not going to punt here.
Now you don't want to give it back to Carterville, not right now. You gotta try and get some points.
They need a scoring drive desperately.
So it is 4th and 3. Can Carterville shut him down on 4th down? Murphy taking the time. They run the play clock down to 1, and Gary Carter wants a timeout. Timeout here at 8:23. We'll be back in 60 seconds on News Radio WJPF. Fourth down and 3 for Murphysboro here. They trailed 21-0 from the plus 46 at Carterville. They need a first down. After the timeout, quick throw across is incomplete, and Carterville holds defensively. And Red Devils turn it over on downs. Carterville's going to get the football right back.
It'd be good to see what Carterville does. I'm really interested to see offensively what they're going to come out in. They may continue to go back to that bone and just work the ball down the field and continue to try to score on this. But last possession, we scored pretty easily on the quick screen to Harrell. So
it's 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line at the 8:19 mark. Lions up 21-0. Get the ball back. Still that powerhouse backfield. And it's to give to Jamie Jones. Jamie plows his way forward, picks up about 4 yards. Going to bring up 2nd down and 6 now for the Lions.
I mean, sometimes when you watch it, it doesn't look pretty, but it's effective. When you're getting 6 yards of play, it doesn't matter if it's a screen pass or if it's a quarterback draw or a pitch or if you're just running up the middle, but we're just getting in there behind the offensive line and just falling forward for 6 yards, and we'll take that all night.
And any coach at any level across the country would take that every single time.
It's substance over style.
Absolutely. 2nd and 6 now from midfield for Carterville. This time again, it's Johnny Miller, and he got bottled up. Good defensive rally there by the Red Devils as they get 3-4 bodies on Johnny. He bounced off the first man through, but then finally that gave a little bit of time for the other defenders to come in.
A rare run for a loss for the Lions on that. Good job for Murphysboro in pursuit in order to make that play.
It's a loss of 1, so it's going to be 3rd and 7 from the -49 for Carterville. They lead it 21-0. Scored on a 5-yard touchdown run from Jamie Jones, a 6-yard run from Johnny Miller, and a 44-yard touchdown pass from Johnson to Harrell. Ball is at the near hash. Johnson drops back, 3-step drop, finds his man, incomplete. On the little inside route, that was the slot receiver there, Hayden Harrell, and that just wound up hitting off the fingertips and falling incomplete.
They were trying to run a little screen on that. They let the defensive line through. Our offensive guys just checked, let them through, and then Hayden was going to come back down the line of scrimmage for a little tunnel screen and then get behind the big fellas in the middle of the field, and we just couldn't connect. They were playing him really tight, and he didn't have room, and Andy just had a hard time getting the ball to him that quickly.
So Jamie Jones will do the punting once again. Murphysboro sends one man deep. Jones angles the punt. Kicks it toward the middle of the field. Great coverage by the Lions. The ball's on the turf. Carterville gets it back. We'll see. It looked like a Carterville player was there.
I think I don't know if that's a flag on the field or if he threw a beanbag down to indicate
Carterville
contact was made.
Carterville gets it. The muffed punt by the Red Devils, and back to take the punt was Jeremiah Vaughn, and Carterville had great coverage downfield, though.
Well, we talked about how Jamie was crushing the ball. That ball was incredibly high, carried in the air, 49 yards. It was a 49-yard punt, and it gave our guys a lot of time to get down there. And as soon as he caught it, I couldn't catch the guy who got the hit, but knocked it loose immediately. Great job by the special teams once again to make a play, and now you have a chance to build onto that score here.
And it's 1st and goal from the 8 for the Lions, so chance to put another point. Oh, what a great defensive play. Johnny Miller come flashing in there. Johnny is a little bit slow getting up.
Jerry Agnew came through almost untouched and just took his legs right out from underneath him.
So it's
risky tackle, risky play there.
So it is 2nd and 13 now for the Lions.
Being a little bit more deliberate now by getting the play in and picking out what we want to do here. I think they're maybe giving Johnny a chance to catch his breath too.
Yeah.
We're going to see a timeout here in just a second.
We're running it down to about 5 seconds. This Lions broadcast brought to you by Ralph Small Engine, Route 51 south of Elkville. Full-service repair shop to keep your equipment running. Timeout on the field. Lions up 21-0 and threatening here on News Radio WJPF. Let's go 30. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Mayor Brad Robinson in the city of Carterville. They want to remind you a couple traffic concerns this weekend. West Illinois is going to be closed by the water office in the evenings of the 17th and 18th. That's tonight and tomorrow night for the Arabic Dance Hall Fest. Through South Division, though South Division remains open, use caution with the extreme excavation equipment along the side of the road due to the water main replacement. Mayor Brad Robinson and the city of Carterville say, let's go Lions, and that's what we're saying. Let's go Lions, punch this in. It is 2nd and 13 from the 11-yard line. 2nd and 11, excuse me. As Johnson, man, Murphy got into the backfield. They got a hold of Andy Johnson and just threw him like a rag doll to the turf.
He faked the handoff of the first guy coming through, and he tried to tuck the ball under and hide it, and was not fooled was Murphysboro's defense. They did a nice job of staying with him with the ball for a big loss.
I think it was Leo Hughes that come charging through that line for Murphysboro to get the tackle. So it's 3rd and 21 from the 21 for Carterville. Trip, 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Johnson drops back, throws it across the middle, has a man off the fingertips. And it falls incomplete as it was intended for Carter Jones.
Zach Carter.
Zach Carter.
We got a lot of Carters out there.
Yeah,
a lot of
there
Jones, too. It looks like we're bringing the field goal unit onto the field. We're going to see if Gavin Johnson has the leg to put it in. It's going to be about a 38-yard field goal if he can make it happen, and he definitely has the leg to do it.
Gavin Johnson, the 6'3 sophomore. So this is going to be from the 28, as Keenan said, the 38-yard field goal.
I don't know if the ball ever got snapped.
I don't think it did. And it's going to be against Carterville. Is that a fumble?
Must have called a fumble.
Yep.
I
guess I guess they did. So Murphy gets it back. They recover the fumble. Didn't even look like the ball had been snapped.
The ball did not get snapped. It never got past the center. I don't know if he dropped it on the way or if the center had flinched or moved and perhaps they jumped on the ball before it got back there. I don't know what happened. Either way, Murphysboro is going to take over on their own 21.
Yep. 21-yard line.
Well, I was really hoping to see the extra or the field goal attempt on that.
Me
to
too.
Give him a shot to do that. Comes to the postseason, you might need a field goal to make a difference in a big game.
Jacob Schuler, the quarterback. 2 receivers right, puts a man in motion, has a receiver left, and it's a screen pass out here to the near side. Low pass, but picked up and breaking free down the sideline. Jeremiah Vaughn finally brought down here on this near sideline. Man, Jeremiah Vaughn, he's fast, the junior. He's 5'5", and, man, he get to the outside. He's quick.
Yeah, had Jack Dotson not have got a piece of his jersey and refused to let go, we'd be watching him dance in the end zone right now.
So it's 1st and 10 from the Carterville, the Murphysboro 45.
Murphysboro has settled in a little bit, and Carterville is come back down after that really good 8 minutes to start the first quarter.
From the near hash, 1st and 10. Schuler gives it to his jet back. That's Shields. Shields, nothing out there. As a matter of fact, he's going to lose about 3 yards. Actually, they're going to say just 1. The Carterville's defense strung that out, did a great job shutting down the lanes.
Yeah, I don't think that Murphysboro isn't watching some of the substitution changes that we're making. We just take out Jackson Smith there, bring in Carson Davis, who's a true defensive end, and just changes the blocking scheme a little bit, they're going to make their play calls accordingly.
1st and 10 now. Excuse me, 2nd and 11. Schuler looks to the near side, and timeout is taken by Gary Carter here with 3:33 remaining. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Lions lead it 21-0 here on News Radio WJPF.
throughout Southern Illinois to serve you. First Southern Bank.
Congratulations to the Red Devils soccer team as they were conference champions this year.
Housing lender.
Third time in 4 years for the Red Devils soccer players there. Regionals will be going on here next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday.
This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Stephen Rich's Barber Styling for women, men, and children, offering cuts, styling, and perming. Walk-ins are welcome right there on South Division Street in Carterville. Made a quick stop at Stephen Rich's this week.
Did you?
Got the do. The
looks
new
good.
do.
Looks good, Dave.
Thanks. They did good. Coming up at halftime, you're going to hear from Darren Kennard. River Radio Sports Central halftime report. Darren's here covering the game tonight. 21-0 is our score. Lions here with 3:33 remaining. Murphy has the ball. It is 2nd down and 11 from their own 44-yard line. After the timeout, Schuler gives it to his tailback. About a yard there, Leo Hughes on the carry.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me, that play call, even though it was 2nd and long. When we take Jackson Smith out and we bring in Carson Davis, who's more of a pass rush here, and it lightens the load a little bit. He's not going to play inside on the tackle. He's going to play a little bit further out in order to stop the run. And you're going to see that trap, that belly play in the middle to try to get the ball up the middle.
So it's 3rd down and 9 from the 46. It's a long 9 as well. Schuler puts a man in motion. That's Shields. Schuler looks to throw, reverses it the other way to Shields. Carterville's there. Can they get him down? They do, but they throw him for a 1st down. It's going to depend on the market. It's going to be just about a half a yard short, it looks like.
Yeah, I think that's a favorable mark. I think the Murphysboro fans who are in front of us, the ball's right in our line of view, and I think they feel like he got past the line of scrimmage or the 1st down marker as well.
So it is. It's not even a half a yard. It's 4th and 1 from the plus 45 of Carterville.
They did try a hard count earlier. When you saw them call the timeout earlier, they tried a hard count. We're down to 3 seconds on the play clock. I don't think it got reset.
And another timeout is called.
But when they tried that hard count earlier, I think one of the running backs slipped and started to run horizontally. He had a lateral movement on the snap, and he started to go and realized he was the only one going, turn around and reset, and then they called the timeout with the clock had wore down. So we'll see what they have in store this time.
Coming up at halftime, we're going to update some scores from around Southern Illinois. I can tell you a couple of things. Centralia Mount Vernon tied at 13. Toronto leads Seattle after 7 innings, 2-1. SIU's home tonight for exhibition game, Austin P. That was a 6 o'clock start. That ought to be wrapping up here before long. So all sorts of stuff going on. We'll update scores from around the region. That's all coming up here on our halftime reports.
SIU football?
Tomorrow,
right?
They changed the time. It was set for a 2 o'clock kickoff, but they moved it up to noon. And so it's kind of change things for us. Sports Voice tomorrow will be from 8 until 11.
Okay.
We're not going to be live at the plaza. We're just going to do it all from the studio coming up tomorrow. Big play here, 4th down and 1 for the Red Devils from the 45 of Carterville. It's the inside handoff. First down yardage is going to move the chains, keep the drive alive for the Red Devils.
Falconberry, good job of getting low and just going with the pile, and he got through it, and about a 3-yard gain, and they only needed 3 inches.
They take it out to the 43-yard line. So it keeps the drive alive. Lions lead it 21-0. There's about 90 seconds remaining until halftime.
Murphysboro's perfectly content to let that clock roll down, try to score or keep it 21-0. They do not want to give Carterville another possession.
So it's 1st and 10. Schuler rolls left, had some pressure. He's going to keep it himself. Gets to the 40, to the 37, and Carterville grabs hold of him and stacks him up right there.
Multiple times we've seen Carterville's defense physically pick up the Murphysboro running back in order to
on
make
the
a tackle.
season. Jacob Schuler has rushed 16 times, and coming into tonight, he only had 10 yards on those 16 rushes.
Well, he just increased his yardage total by 50%.
Yeah.
On that one play.
So it's 2nd and 5 from the 37-yard line. Clock rolls to about 30 seconds left. Murphy breaks the huddle. Ball is at the 38-yard line. Schuler gives it to his jet back, trying to get to the outside. First down, and is brought down on the near sideline.
He did not get out of bounds. I don't think that he got out of bounds.
They stopped the clock, though, with 20 seconds. His first sign was...
Well, they stopped the clock so they could move the chains. And now that the
it
chains
starts
are
back
set,
up.
they've
There
started
you go.
it back up again.
So it's 1st and 10. 12 seconds remaining. Murphy trails 21-0. They'd like points on the board going into halftime. It's Schuler. Couple of steps right, throws it, has his man, and brought down short, incomplete. And that ends the half and shuts down the threat. Now, Murphysboro is going to get the ball back to start the second half, but wait a minute. They're going to put some time on the clock, apparently. I don't see any flags.
Well, it was an incomplete pass. From up here, it looked like he'd caught the ball, but it was an incomplete pass, and I'm wondering if there was still time on the clock, and it just didn't get stopped.
It'll probably be about...
They're calling up to the booth now to put
1.7 on the clock.
Well, that's a fortunate break here for
Yes, it is.
the Red
Imagine
Devils
that.
to get one more shot. That's going to can't hurt.
2nd down and 10. From the 28-yard line.
On that last play, the receiver dragging across the middle, and safety Jack Dotson comes up and sees that and gets a good hand on the ball, knocks it to the turf. He would have been better off to let him catch it and just tackle him.
So 1.7 seconds, one more play for the Red Devils before halftime. Got to think they're going to try and throw it to the end zone. 2 receivers and a timeout.
That'll be a
is
timeout
taken
for
by
Carterville.
Carterville this time, by Coach Brent Dial. They want to talk about it. Of course, Carterville wants to keep pitching this shutout. And we will take a break. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on News Radio WJPF.
Ralph's Small Engine is your full-service repair shop that keeps your equipment running year-round. At Ralph's, they treat each customer like family. They offer the best brands of the business, like Hustler, Skag, Echo, and DeWalt. Financing is available with interest rates as low as 0%. They don't do high-pressure sales. Just get you into the equipment you need at the best price. Family-owned since 1995. Ralph's Small Engine on Highway 51 just south of Elkville. Best of luck this season.
Just 1.7 seconds remaining here at Doc Bensini Field. Lions on top, 21-0, trying to keep Murphy out of the end zone here going into halftime, giving them a little bit of momentum because they're going to get the ball back to start play in the second half. So they put 1.7 seconds back on the clock. This is it. Carterville took the timeout. They want to talk about it. It is 2nd and 10 from the Carterville 27. Big play here defensively. Schuler from the shotgun. Empty backfield, drop back, has pressure, dumped it off, picked off. It's picked off. That's Jamie Jones that has it. He breaks it out across the 40-yard line, and that ends the half for Murphysboro, ends that threat. And we've got
a flag on the field. There's a Murphysboro player who's laying down. Looks like he's been hurt. I'm wondering if there's been any kind of illegal block or unsportsmanlike.
And the play can't end, the half can't end on a defensive penalty. It's a personal foul against the Lions. So one more shot.
And I hope no one gets ejected because of this. And I didn't see the play. I don't know what the block was, but something like that could always get somebody in a lot of trouble if that happened.
Murphy, I thought there would be one more play. But
Carterville would have been on offense at that point in time.
Well, that's true. It would have been Carterville ball. So you're exactly right. That ends the half. 21-0 is our score. Coming up, it is our Central Hospital for Animals halftime report here on News Radio WJPF.
The officials won't leave the field until the players are okay. He's up and moving now. I was going to say the officials won't move the field, and they won't start the 15-minute clock until the officials leave.
That's sure.
So I was thought to prepare. It could be a while before they this half is over. I'm sorry? Oh, you're fine, yeah. To schedule an appointment or visit ShawneeHealth.com. Go Lions. Different things, and they're adjusting back and forth, and what's going to happen is that the second half, you're hoping that Carterville's one-way players are going to start wearing down that Murphysboro line and start making a a little bit better offensive production here when we get started in the second half.
Well, Carterville was able to thwart the scoring drive there right before halftime. And, of course, it was Jamie Jones that picked off that pass. He picks up the interception. There was a personal foul on Carterville on that return on the interception, but Murphy is going to get the football to start the second half.
Yeah, you've got to come out and get a stop, get your offense established again. Really, offensively, that last drive was Murphysboro's best opportunity to score, and they just simply ran out of time.
Central Hospital for Animals halftime report. We're going to go on and take a break, and when we come back, you're going to hear from Darren Kennard. It's River Radio Sports Central halftime report. It's next on News Radio WJPF. I'm going to be off headset for a minute.
Espressos or latte while enjoying a grab-and-go breakfast or lunch, all made just the way you like. Stop by Heather's Bake Shop in downtown Carterville or catch them at local vendor events. Heather's Bake Shop, baked with love, served with a smile. Looking for the right shoe with the right fit for running, hiking, or walking? RTS Outfitters in Marion is just for you. At RTS Outfitters, they do a unique 4-step fitting process that reveals your gait and foot characteristics. The right shoe with the right fit just for you to help reduce injuries and increase comfort. RTS Outfitters carries top brands like Hoka, Brooks, On Cloud, North Face, Garmin, and more, plus accessories and hydration supplies. Visit RTS Outfitters in Marion or at rtsoutfitters.com.
Area high schools in the classroom and on the playing field. John A. Logan offers high school students the opportunity to earn college credit while in high school. Students can get a jump start on their college careers while saving money. After high school, students can easily transition to one of the college's career and technical education programs or a traditional baccalaureate transfer program. No matter your path, you'll know why everyone says, why would you go anywhere else? Good luck this season and visit jalc.edu.
With your River Radio Sports Central halftime report, I'm Darren Kennard. The next round of postseason for fall sports is here, with girls tennis sectionals and boys soccer regionals starting today. In tennis, the top 4 individuals and top 4 doubles teams earn trips to state. We have area teams at the Carbondale and Centralia sectionals. The weather forecast puts tomorrow's final round in jeopardy. Sectionals have until 5 o'clock Monday to be completed. Opening round games in the boys soccer regionals are today and tomorrow, with the semifinals set for early next week and championship games next Friday and Saturday. Also next Friday and Saturday will be the final games of the football regular season, with the IHSA releasing the playoff pairings next Saturday night. Be sure to join us on 103.5 ESPN that night at 7:30. Our annual playoff pairing show. Matt Barnett, Dave McKenzie, and I will have interviews with area coaches and break down the brackets as they're released. That's next Saturday night at 7:30 on 103.5 ESPN. Next Saturday also marks the start of the cross-country postseason with regionals. Conference meets were the story this week. Fairfield swept the boys and girls team titles in the Black Diamond, with El Dorado's Liam Roberts and Carmi-White County's Michaela Sievers taking home medalist honors. Mount Vernon swept the team titles in the South 7, but Marion swept the medalist honors, with Gabriel Greer and Kara Odom both winning. Pinckneyville won the River to River Mississippi boys team title, with DeCoyne's Caden Cook the medalist, while Heron won the Ohio side, with Tigers senior Mason King edging teammate Nolan Frost by 0.3 of a second for medalist honors there. As for the girls, Anna Jonesboro won its 4th straight Mississippi team title, with Lady Wildcats junior Jaden Girardi the medalist for the 3rd straight year. And Carterville made it 3 straight titles in the Ohio, with Lions sophomore Laney Sambursky the medalist there. Congratulations to Johnston City senior Trey Johnson, our latest orthopedic center of Southern Illinois in Mount Vernon prime-time performer. There will be no poll this week, as state champions automatically get the nod. That means the 5-time 1A girls golf champion Mount Carmel Lady Aces are our next primetime performers. Be sure to like and follow River Radio Sports Central on Facebook and Twitter/X. Join us live on Facebook
Have you seen some of the playoff projections yet, Dave?
No. I haven't looked at it yet.
Well, they'll change.
They'll change.
We look forward to seeing you there.
Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. Joe's Lawn Service, Carterville, is a locally owned and operated business serving Southern Illinois for over 20 years, specializing in much more than commercial or residential lawn care. Joseph McMahon and his crew can do snow removal, bush hogging, tree trimming or tree removal, landscaping maintenance, and much more. Call 534-8148. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. 534-8148. That's 534-8148.
You're listening to Carterville Lions football on News Radio 1340, WJPF Aaron, W258DP Aaron 99.5 FM.
Growing up in Southern Illinois, you learn the importance of helping others. I'm Caden Hawkins, and it's one of the reasons that I'm proud to represent this region as a member of SIU's Saluki men's basketball team. It's also why I'm glad to be a Banterra customer, because they support our communities. Plus, I can open my account online, and with their Saluki Visa debit card, I know my purchases contribute to SIU scholarships and athletics. That was an easy win for me. Banterra Bank, official partner of Saluki Athletics, member FDIC.
Don't let the name fool you. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702,
Back
represents
after this.
more than just electricians.
Thank you.
The IBEW is made up of Southern Illinois linemen, tree trimmers, telephone workers, utility workers, city employees, factory workers, construction workers, and many more. So when you support the IBEW, you're really supporting Southern Illinois. Help make Southern Illinois a brighter place. Put your trust in the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all.
21-0 is the score here at halftime at Doc Bensini Field in Murphysboro. It was all Lions there in that first quarter. They were up 14-0 at the end of the first. And then the 44-yard touchdown pass from Andy Johnson to Hayden Harrell made it 21-0. Murphy's going to get the ball back to start play here in the second half, updating scores from around Southern Illinois. We'll start first with other river-to-river conference games. DuQuoin leads Nashville in the fourth. It's showing fourth quarter. I think that would still be pretty early. 14-3, DuQuoin leads Nashville. Harrisburg leads Heron at the half, 14-0, and West Frankfort on top of Anna Jonesboro. That's 30-8 in the second quarter. Benton shutting out Pinckneyville 28-0 in the second, and no score being reported for Massac County and the Saxony Crusaders. South 7 action. Cahokia leads Collinsville 20-7. Mount Vernon has a touchdown lead over Centralia 27-20 in the second. Marion popping Carbondale tonight 27-7. Let me back up. At Mount Vernon scores 27-20 over Centralia. Looking at Cahokia Conference scores. St. Teresa getting beat by Mater Dei this evening, 30-21. DuPo, who got beat by Chester a week ago, leads Sparta 14-7. Westland over Carlisle at the half, 14-0. Central Cougars 28-0 over Columbia this evening. And Chester leads Redbud 35-3. Roxana popping East Alton Wood River 48-0. Black Diamond Conference games this evening. Sesser on top of El Dorado 16-14. It's Fairfield shutting out Christopher this evening 34-0 at the half. Flora leads Hamco 25-7 at the half. And no score being reported between Edwards County, Carmi, White County. Johnston City takes on Red Hill tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. And if you missed the announcement, the SIU has moved their game time up tomorrow. They were set for a 2 o'clock kick against North Dakota, but because of the impending weather, they wanted to move it up, so now it is a noon kickoff from Saluki Stadium. We're going to have Sports Voice from our studios there at River Radio. It's going to start at 8 o'clock, but it's going to be extended to 11 o'clock. We're not going to be doing our tailgate setup there at Saluki Plaza, so that's the one change. Now, pregame coverage on 101.5 CILFM with Luke Martin. Mike Trude, Coach Poor is going to start at 11 o'clock tomorrow. So kickoff set for noon, pregame coverage at 11, and Sports Voice tomorrow will kind of roll right into our Sports Voice on location talking Saluki football. A lot going on.
It's going to be a busy weekend coming up.
Busy weekend. John A. Logan College hosts their jamboree over at Marion High School on Sunday, and you can go over there, see some of the top junior college basketball teams. I think there's like 5 of the teams that were in the top 25 at the end of the season last year. That's all day on Sunday. It starts at 9 o'clock and it goes until about 5 o'clock. Come over, $12 will let you watch all the basketball game you want because they have 3 games going all at the same time. So you can just walk around and watch whatever you want to see.
It's hard to believe we're talking about basketball season already. It just rolls right up on you. We're not even done with football, and SIU's got some things going on, and John A. Logan, and if you want to catch basketball right now, you got that itch, you can go out and take care of it
Let's see
tomorrow.
if we can get a little bird to pop in my ear and tell me what the score was. SIU has their exhibition game tonight against Austin P. So I haven't heard a score on that as of yet, but we will definitely pass that along as we get the information. 21-0 is our score here at Murphysboro. We're going to go on and take another break, and when we come back, we'll continue here. Lions on top, 21-0 on the road at Murphy on News Radio WJPF.
It's the restaurant you've heard about all your life. One of Southern Illinois' most unique spots.
It's a close game. We're doing free throws. Salukis are leading. Probably will win, but we're doing lots of free throws.
Double cheese or grab some fried pickles.
Okay.
And don't forget about the hot dogs and the barbecue. But the minute
I'll give it to you over here if it comes. Otherwise, I'll text you.
to take your order.
All right.
Call ahead. They'll have your order waiting for you. Number 618-988-9210. Come taste the legend. Easy on the wallet, too. Polar Whip, Energy's finest restaurant.
Central Hospital.
By the way, Salukis trailed by as many as 12 in the second half, and then looks like they will pull the win out. So good,
Now offering the VI Pet Plan with Snout. Get monthly pet care plans for dogs and cats with an annual value of just $200 a month. They also offer puppy and kitten packages to take the worry out of their first year. Need flea and tick prevention? They offer 12-month injectables for dogs, as well as Brevecto Quantum, only available at Central Hospital for animals.
That was pepperoni. I just ate the pepperonis off the top.
It's cheese now.
It is cheese.
21-0 is our score here from Murphysboro this evening. Carterville 7-0 on the season, trying to pick up their 8th win. Next week, going to wrap up the regular season. Can you believe that? Week 9 on the road at Anna Jones World to close out the regular season.
I love the playoff football. That's one of my favorite times of the year. I can't wait. I like the 2 or 3 weeks going into it when you're talking about who you might play and how the implications are going all the way around. And some teams, you know, there's a big difference between ending up being a 4 seed and a 5 seed because a team you played in week 2 got an upset win and gave you that playoff point that pushed you up and gave you a better spot. So they're already starting to mention some names and watching to see who's going to be in 4A and what potential opponents are going to be out there for Carterville.
And what a perfect segue Keenan set up. You heard Darren mention it there during his report. Next Saturday night, 7 o'clock, it's going to be Darren Kennard, Matty Moe, and myself. We're going to have the playoff preview show. We'll be talking with coaches. As soon as the quarantine on the brackets are released, we'll start naming off the pairings. The embargo, I think, is the word that they use. We can't say anything about them until the designated times. But that'll be next Saturday night, the playoff preview show with Darren Kennard, Matt Varney, and myself from 103.5 ESPN.
You know, you're watching a team like some of your guys that are around here, they're into it and are keeping up, which I don't keep up with it that closely. I'll talk to the coaches and get a feel for some of the websites. But, like, Olney right now could end up 9-0. They could end up 8-1. It depends upon what they do in Week 9 against Casey.
Exactly.
And if they ended up 8-1, they're probably going to be a 5 or 6 seed. If they end up 9-0, they could be the 1 seed, which could, if Carterville happens to hang on tonight and ends up winning next week, Carterville could be a 1 seed if they're 9-0. But, I mean, it really just depends upon what's going to happen up in Casey in Week 9. And all of that changes, so that impacts who Carterville plays Week 1. If their Week 2 game would be at home or on the road, like, there's a lot of things that happen. It's kind of fun to keep an eye on that.
And then also, let's talk about Murphysboro.
Right.
You know, they are sitting at 4 wins. You need to have 5 wins to be playoff eligible. Now, they play DuQuoin Week 9. That's going to be – there's playoff points that could affect us in that game.
DuQuoin, who's up 11 points on Nashville right now and is playing really well, yeah, absolutely could impact us.
So, I mean, there's still – it may be the last week, but there is a ton of things to be decided with those Week 9 games. Carterville's going to be at Anna Jonesboro next Friday night. Keenan and I will head down there. They have great pork chops. Is it the pork sandwich?
Yeah, they do have pork sandwiches
AJ?
down there. I think I had one when our soccer team played down there earlier in the year. They were selling them.
They're pretty good, so looking forward to that. Couple of scores to update you Major League Baseball-wise. Seattle beats Toronto tonight, 6-2 was the final score there. At the half, DuQuoin leading Nashville 14-3. But we're getting you set for second half action here this evening at Murphysboro. Murphy's going to get the football to start the second half. Carterville has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. And Lions lead it 21-0, and Carterville was offside on the kickoff. Of course, they ended the first half with that personal foul. So that's going to back Carterville up 5 yards. And it's going to be Gavin Johnson that's going to have to re-kick for Carterville.
Carter Woods has been doing a lot of the kicking, and Carter's done a nice job of he's been placing the ball well when we didn't want to kick the ball deep to certain teams, and he did a nice job of that. But Gavin seems to be putting the ball pretty deep right now, and I saw him kicking off in pregame, and he was putting some long shots into the end zone.
So now he has it teed up at the 35-yard line. We'll try this again. Everybody stays back. Kick is away. It's going to be taken at the 20-yard line. Out to the 30-yard line, to the 35, just short of the 35. And that's where the Red Devils are going to start. 1st and 10 to start this second half of action.
Brody Harris and Reginald Wilson in on the tackle. Carterville's bringing out the defensive unit. It looks like we've got Carson Davis out there, which means Jackson Smith's going to take this part of the series off. Sometimes we load in an extra safety as well if we think they're going to pass, but we don't have the extra safety out there now.
1st and 10 for the Red Devils from their own 35-yard line. Quarterback Jacob Schuler from the shotgun. Waist-high snap, drops 2 steps back, lobs it up over the middle, and his receiver just fell down. That was Logan Tanner, and one of the turf monsters took Logan Tanner down, and it falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, good coverage. Zach Carter had him, and then Drake Cappy was already over the top. So even if the pass had been online, he didn't have a high percentage chance of catching that one anyway. Pass rush, as always, is solid for the Lions. Playing so quickly and get to the ball and no hesitation. It doesn't seem like there's anybody that can block our 2 interior defensive linemen, and Bouchard and Barnhart. And then our defensive ends are always putting pressure on.
From the 35-yard line, it's the give to the jet back. That is Shields. Shields, nothing going there for Murphysboro.
Jamie Jones, outside linebacker, comes in and makes the first hit. And again, everybody, by the time the play is over, everybody's been in on that tackle.
So it is 3rd and 8. The ball rests at the 37-yard line. Third down wise, Murphysboro is 18 for 50 on the season. Coming into tonight, 36%. Two receivers to the far side, a man in motion. Schuler rolls right, has some pressure from behind, dumps it off right side. It's well short of his intended receiver and falls incomplete.
I think he was just trying to avoid the sack on that. He had nothing going. Good job defensively over there. Hayden Harrell and Drake Cappy have done a fantastic job covering on that side. There was just nothing there. I think he was just getting rid of the ball before he got hit. Nice job defensively coming out and throwing water on that first possession for Murphysboro. We're going to get the ball back here by way of punt.
That's called momentum that they had going in at half. Carterville kept them from scoring, which was the positive. They responded, but you could kind of feel things slip just a little bit.
We've not even been rushing the punter at all. We've been setting up for the return. Not going to get a chance to here, though.
No. It's going to roll dead inside the 30-yard line as Carterville had Jack Dodson back deep. Carterville's going to get it back here at the 10:43 mark of this third quarter. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by IBEW Local 702, providing a better lifestyle for members, better life for all. 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. Like to see this offense ramp it up right here on this drive.
Yeah, what we were doing really well early on was moving the ball, or spreading the ball around and getting big chunks of yards at a time. I don't think we got impatient. I think Murphysboro just stacked everybody inside on us and made some good adjustments.
Yes, they did. So Andy Johnson gives it to his tailback. That is Johnny Miller. He's through the line of scrimmage. First down and more down in their SIRR line across midfield as he takes it down inside the 40-yard line. They're going to mark it short of the 40. But what a nice run from Johnny Miller to get outside for Carterville.
You know, we let's not lose sight of the fact that Carterville ran the ball for 3 or 4 weeks really well out of the spread. Like, we don't have to be in double tight wishbone. We don't have to do a full house backfield in order to run the ball. We can run the ball when we're in spread, and the defense has to honor that.
And we're in spread now. Trip receivers to the far side, but a whistle stops the play. Typically, that's against the offense. It's motion on Carterville. So it'll be 1st and 15 as they're going to set the ball down at the 49-yard line. So Carterville comes out. Johnny Miller, the tailback. Andy Johnson, the quarterback. 3 receivers to the far side for Carterville. A little different look than what they showed in the first half. Keenan was talking about that. Miller bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. That was good defensive coverage there by the Red Devils.
Yeah, puts you kind of in a hole when you have that false start before the series really gets rolling, and now you didn't get any gain on that play, and you're 2nd and 15 just past the 50-yard line.
Carterville taking their time, getting the play in from Brett Dial on the far sideline. Andy Johnson comes to the huddle, runs in. They break huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. 9:50 remaining here in this third quarter. Lions up 21-0 with the ball in Murphy territory. Low snap. Johnson throws it. The right side has his man out there. It's caught. That's Hayden Harrell on the reception for Carterville. Moves the chains, and what a beautiful pass from Andy Johnson.
Really good job. Harrell did a good concentration. He had to turn back towards the sideline in order to make that catch and stayed on his feet, made them make a tackle. So really good connection on that. Andy didn't have a ton of time to throw it, but he put a perfect ball out there for Hayden.
As they take the ball deep into Murphysboro territory now. It's 1st down and 10. And they're going to mark it down at the... And there's a penalty. I didn't even see that there was a penalty. And it's a 10-yard penalty. So Carterville's setting up 1st and 10. It's actually going to be 1st and goal from the 10. So here we go, Carterville. Great opportunity here. And Johnny Miller straight up the gut, spins his way inside the 5 and finally brought down at about the 3-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 4. 2nd and goal now from the 4 for the Red Devils. Or, excuse me, for the Carterville Lions.
Good gain on that play there. Now you're starting to see if Murphysboro is going to stack the box, Carterville's just going to run the receivers out there and effectively throw it so far. We've completed a couple of nice long pass attempts. And so Murphysboro now has to honor that because that's kind of the flavor of the day right now.
2nd and goal from the 5 officially for Carterville. Miller sidesteps the defender into the end zone for the touchdown. Carterville, they jump out, add to it. 27-0 on the 5-yard touchdown run from Johnny Miller.
That looked like the Carterville of weeks 1 through 5. And I love running with the full house backfield, but that was really quick, efficient, made the most of the plays. Good play calling there by Coach Dial and crew, and went down and scored quickly and threw just any kind of put a stop to the momentum that Murphysboro had coming out of that half.
27-0. The PAT is good. Makes it 28-0 here with 8:49 remaining in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on News Radio WJPF.
At the Bank of Heron, we know the recipe for success begins with the right ingredients. So we've taken
You get that
services
final
like
from the
mobile
basketball?
banking and
No, I hadn't even looked at it yet.
helpful employees and a full
84-79.
trust department.
Thank you.
They were down 12 in the
Top it
second
off
half.
with a
Came back.
commitment of service to our
Apparently,
communities.
Kelron
Put
House
it
is
all
really
together,
good.
and it's clear why the Bank of Heron is a leader in the communities we serve. Community strong, the Bank of Heron, it's not just a bank, it's a relationship. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Final score from Banterra Center. SIU wins over Austin P exhibition game tonight, 84-79. Carterville has extended their lead out to 28-0 here with 8:49 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
It's exactly the start that Carterville needed. Quick 3 and out for Murphysboro. Moved the ball down the field. Got back to what works for us. Back into our scheme that we're comfortable in. And put some points on the board.
Kicking it away. Murphy takes it at the 10-yard line. That's Shields with the football. And Carterville doesn't allow much. Out to about the 25, maybe the 26-yard line officially. Murphy getting the ball back here. 1st and 10. Excuse me. Labat on the return. So it's 8:42 remaining. 1st and 10 now from the 27-yard line for the Red Devils.
Somebody on Murphysboro's, it looks like Shields is hobbling a little bit.
Yep.
So they've officials timeout to let him get off the field, take his time to clear the sideline and get a replacement in there for him.
Shields does come to the near sideline. He's got 84 receptions coming into tonight for 323 yards and 11 TDs for Murphysboro. Shields is just a freshman, stands 6'1". But he comes over here to the near sideline. Trainer and staff picks him up right there.
He's a really good multi-sport athlete, and I think they were looking forward to having him as part of their program up here whenever he finally got into high school.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Red Devils. Schuler from the shotgun gives it to his jetback around on the far side. Gain of about 5, it looks like. It's going to bring up 2nd down for Murphysboro. I tell you what I'm excited about here at Murphysboro, too, is their new gymnasium. You know, at some point this next year, we're going to get to see that.
They were hoping to have that open. I don't know if they've hit any delays or not. It's possible that we may not see it until after the new year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to find out what they put into place. When they do the facilities here, they do them right in Murphysboro. They have a really nice setup here.
2nd and 5 from the 32 for the Devils. Jet back in motion is Burton, and not a whole lot going on there. Hughes on the carry. Carterville snuffs that out once again.
I just think that Murphy has to start. They're probably going to get a little impatient at some point in time. They are making a little bit of gains offensively. They're running the ball to the gain of 3 to 4 yards potentially from play to play, but that's not going to get you back into the game when you're down 28-0 and your defense cannot stop Carterville's offense.
Shields is back into the game for the Red Devils. Leo Hughes checks out. So they bring one receiver here to the near side. That's in Jeremiah Vaughn. And Schuler has some pressure. Carterville gets to him. He just puts it up, and it luckily falls incomplete because Carterville had 2 players there, led by, I believe that was Andy Johnson on that pressure.
It was. Andy Johnson was in there. Jack Dotson on the coverage, and Schuler was running for his life. He had nothing to do but just try to
he turned around and saw nothing but hands coming toward him.
Get rid of it and don't hit me.
So 4th down now for the Red Devils from their own 32-yard line.
I mean, another entire possession, offensive possession of less than 10 yards for the Red Devils.
So Carterville sends the return man Jack Dodson deep. Jack stands at about the 42-yard line. And a whistle is stopping play, and a timeout is called by Gary Carter. Comes here at the 7:09 mark, and we will be back in 60 seconds on News Radio WJPF.
High school football is here, and that means the return of Friday Night Live. I'm Darren Kennard, and you can join me live on Facebook after tonight's game for River Radio Sports Central's Friday Night Live. Catch all of tonight's scores and join in the discussion on the River Radio Sports Central Facebook page. River Radio Sports Central, powered by Clark Concrete, Ward Chrysler Center in Carbondale, and IBEW Local 702. I'll see you live on Facebook tonight for Friday Night Live.
Bank with people you know, who know and love Southern Illinois. First Southern Bank is a community bank that cares for and gives back.
Lynn Navarra still on the music here.
He can still pump the jams.
He does. He's got quite the library over there.
Throughout Southern Illinois to serve you. First Southern Bank, community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Visit First Southern Bank at firstsouthernbank.net.
So Gary Carter wanted the timeout here on this 4th and 5. They're showing punt.
You don't often see a timeout before a punt.
But they actually do kick it away. Jack Dodson initially called for the fair catch, but Carterville gets a nice hop. It didn't even make it much past midfield. So Lions get the ball back here with 7 minutes exactly remaining. They're going to have it 1st and 10 near midfield at their own 49-yard line. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Malone's Early Learning Center in Carterville, offering programs for infants to school-age kids as well as pre-K and Head Start. It's the best care anywhere. 1st and 10 Lions from their own 49. Let's put another 7 on the board,
let's keep the foot on the gas here and get down and score quickly again. But we'll probably take our time between plays, but we want to get moving.
Johnson has Miller as his tailback, gives it to Johnny. Johnny has 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, and finally grabbed and thrown to the ground. Nice first, just chunk yards on 1st down. That's what you want.
Yeah, they're starting to confuse. If you remember last week, Carterville was having a hard time getting set defensively before Massac would snap the ball. We were a little slow getting to our spots and recognizing where the strength was and where the alignment was supposed to be. And I'm starting to see that with Murphysboro just a little bit as well now. They're having a hard time getting set up, and Carterville snapping the ball before the defense is ready.
2nd and 2 now for Carterville. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 here to the near side. And this time on the carry for Carterville, it is Carter Jones. Carter takes it out. 1st down yardage for the Lions will move the chains.
What a luxury to have that second running back who could be a first running back for just about anybody. If you remember last year, we had Amon Cozy, who was a fantastic addition. If it wasn't working for Chance Myers for a couple of plays, or if he needed a breather because he carried it 22 times, you brought in a guy who could be explosive.
2 receivers to the far side. Again, This is Carter Jones on the carry. Carter angling his way toward the first down marker over on the far side. It's going to be just a touch short the way it looks here.
So he grabs almost 20 yards in 2 carries, and he's in there giving Johnny Miller a spell. It looks like we're bringing Reggie in now, too.
And coming into tonight, Carter had 35 carries for 194 yards, averaging about 5.5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And that's what he continues to do here. 2nd down and 1.
We've got Reggie in now at the halfback.
From the 28-yard line. Reggie Miller in. Reggie, first down. Cuts it up inside, spins, runs right into the defender. Flag comes in behind that. And let's see what the marker is going to be.
Looks like we're going to get a hold on Carterville.
Yep.
There is a flag on the play.
It is holding, so that's going to bring that back. But a nice run from Reggie on that one.
Yeah, he did really, and that's what he did last week. Is they ran him off the end or off tackle outside there, and he found a hole and cut it right back up north and south. And when he did last week, he was gone. This week he ran into a little bit of traffic, but not after a significant gain.
2nd and 12 from the 38 now for Carterville. Oh, and Carter Jones was grabbed by the ankles. Agnew gets the stop for Murphy.
Loss of 3 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 9 for Carterville.
So it's 3rd and 9 instead of 3rd and 6. So a loss of 3. But manageable, 3rd and 9. 2 receivers here to the near side for Carterville. They spread 1 to the far side. Johnson rolls right, throws it, has his man, one-handed grab out there. On that reception, Jamie Jones, what a nice catch.
I think that one was Hayden Harrell on that catch.
Was it?
Ball was thrown hard out in front of him, and he's in full stride and reaches out and gets one hand on it and knocks it back to his chest where he can get the second hand, gets it, and it's just enough for a Carterville first down.
What a catch by Hayden. That one looks a lot like a 7.
That does.
I'm sorry. Bad old eyes. It looks like a 7. So it's 1st down and 10 for Carterville at the plus 25-yard line. And in the backfield, Reggie brought down.
Yeah, that ball was mishandled somehow. I don't know if the handoff came off a little funny or funky or if Andy just didn't get a good grip on it. But they didn't look comfortable with that exchange, and he gets caught up in the background. Murphysboro sending a lot of guys right now, and that's where the pass is going to work. If we can connect, there's opportunities in that loose secondary right now.
2nd and 13 for Carterville from the Murphy 28. Johnson rolls left, throws it left, has his man out there. That's Hayden Harrell on the reception. He takes it inside the 20. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and short for Carterville. That was a nice little dump pass over to Hayden Harrell.
Just continues to build a rapport between Johnson and Harrell, and that's only going to be another layer to the offense that we've seen this year. We don't have to get under. In fact, I don't know that we've ran the wishbone
in the
at all this second half. Yeah, we ran everything out of spread.
And up the gut on that dive. It's defended well by the Red Devils. It's going to be gain of about a yard and a half. So 4th down now. Carterville's got it deep in Murphy territory. Will they kick the field goal? Will they give Johnson the chance at the field goal, or are they going to go for it? I would say they're going to go for it.
They might, but what an opportunity to find out if your field goal unit can execute in this type of situation. It's a 35-yarder. They may be running the clock down.
Yep, they're going to take a timeout. I think they may set up for the field goal. We'll see. 2:17 as the clock rolls, and Brett Dial has his offense over there in front of him. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Ralph's Small Engine, Route 51 south of Elkville. Full-service repair shop to keep your equipment running. Timeout on the field, 2:09. Lions up 28-0. And we'll be back here in 30 seconds on News Radio WJPF.
Ralph's Small Engine is your full-service repair shop that keeps your equipment running year-round. At Ralph's, they treat each customer like family. They offer the best brands in the business, like Hustler, Skag, Echo, and DeWalt. Financing is available with interest rates as low as 0%. They don't do high-pressure sales. Just get you into the equipment you need at the best price. Family-owned since 1995. Ralph's Small Engine on Highway 51 just south of Upville. Best of luck this season.
We do not have our field goal unit.
Back at Murphysboro, coming out of the timeout.
Yes, we do.
Carterville looks to be setting up for the field goal from Gavin Johnson.
Well, they brought Gavin Johnson in, but they've lined him up here at receiver on this side now.
So going to go for it here. 4th down and 3 from the 18 for the Lions. Everybody except for Gavin Johnson in tight. And it's the quick pitch. Jamie Jones wants the first down, falls forward. Is he going to get it? It's close. And it's going to be short of the yardage needed by about a yard and a half. So the turnover on downs gives it back to Murphysboro. Came up about a yard short on the carry by Jamie Jones.
I still like the play call. Jamie runs hard. He hasn't had to run it much tonight. He's the type of guy who, if you need 5 yards, you can usually count on him to get what he needs to do, and it just wasn't there. He didn't have the opportunity to make that happen, but I still like that play call.
Here come the Red Devils, quarterback Jacob Schuler. Schuler took a big old shot right at the end of the first half and was slow heading to the locker room for halftime. But he is back at quarterback here. And he gives it to his jetback as he comes through, picks up about 3, maybe 4 yards on the carry. It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 6 now for Murphy.
You know what's different about this Murphysboro team is from the ones that we've seen in years past, they just haven't shown yet that they have that big home run hitter. They haven't had big chunk 12 and 15 and 20-yard plays like you could usually count on them to have. Yeah, they've hit Vaughn a couple times for some nice gains, but other than that, they've just kind of moved the ball down the field very slowly when they move.
And they lost so many seniors last year.
Yeah.
And experienced players, and just takes a while. Now trying to get to the outside on the carry. And Carterville extends out that defense. And the carry was Tremarcus Hollins, I believe.
Braden Brown's been staying busy defensively tonight. He's once again had another really good but quiet night. He's always in on the plays. He's making things happen. Just because you're not getting a ton of tackles doesn't mean that you aren't impacting things positively on the defense. If you're in your spot and you're turning the ball in and letting the guys who are supposed to be scraping across make those plays, then you've had a great night.
3rd and 8 for the Red Devils. Rolling right, he reverses back this way. Carterville had him in there. They're going to get a first down and more. What a good play design. And finally being brought down across the 40-yard line. That was a pretty pass play. As Schuler rolled right, you thought he was going to screen right, but he stopped and brought it back to the left side. And on the reception, it was Ross Gill, I believe, that had the reception for the Red Devils.
Right, a sizable gain. Carterville had a chance to get him in the backfield, and a nice block by the receiver on this side. I didn't catch the number who it was. He made a nice block, which freed up the play on that.
So it's 1st and 10 out to the Murphy 41-yard line. 23 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And it's the inside handoff and straight up the gut. Maybe a touchdown for the Red Devils. Nobody can get to him. And a big O touchdown run. Touchdown for the Red Devils comes here. And their first points of the game, the 13-second mark here of the 3rd quarter. And that's going to be a 59-yard touchdown run.
A little counter play where they hand the ball off to the left. He catches it, turns, and runs back to the right. So a double handoff. like we know you're going to see when you see Murphysboro. And there's that explosive big play that they've been knocking on the door for all night.
Zach Huff on the carry for the Red Devils, pinning the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is good. 28-7. Murphy gets their first touchdown here. With 13 seconds remaining, Lions are still in control. They're up 28-7. Back in 30 on News Radio WJPF. It's 28-7 is our score here at Murphysboro. Carterville going to get the ball back as that touchdown run went for 59 yards from Zach Huff of Murphysboro. That's a pretty run for Huff.
Nice cutback and turned it up, and then once he got north and south, we saw a lot of speed from him there.
So Carterville's going to get the ball back. And we'll flip the game over to the fourth quarter.
Will we see an onside kick or the little pooch kick again?
We'll see. They're going to kick it away. Carterville had one man deep, and ball goes out of bounds as that was Reginald Wilson that was back, but they kicked away from him, goes out of bounds. Since the ball wasn't touched, still 13 seconds left, so Carterville will probably back them up, or they'll take it at the 40-yard line, and that may be what they're going to do. Or the 35, excuse me.
Yeah, they're going to take possession at the 35-yard line, let that offense start to roll again. Probably going to see just one more play this quarter and go into that fourth quarter with a 21-point lead.
Lions offense comes out from their own 35-yard line. Andy Johnson. Waist-high snap, gives it to Johnny Miller. Miller runs into the defenders. And that is going to end this third quarter. 28-7 is our score. We are heading to the fourth quarter here at Murphysboro. 28-7, Lions. Taking a look at a couple of scores, Nashville has got to within 3 of DuQuoin in the fourth quarter. It's 21-18, DuQuoin on top of Nashville. Frankfort blasting AJ 46-8. Harrisburg has a 7-point lead on Herring in the third quarter. And Massac's getting beat by Saxony this evening, 34-14. Benton blowing out Pinckneyville this evening. As Carterville has the ball to start play here in the fourth quarter. It was second down, 39-yard line.
Short gain on that play. Looks like a little read option there where he could decide to give the ball, where Andy could give the ball to Johnny Miller or keep it for himself. He decided to pull it, keep it for himself, and didn't have much there in the way of a positive game. Maybe picked up a yard.
They're down and 5 from the 40. Lions all in tight. Johnson gives it to Johnny Miller. Gets to the outside and runs into the chain over there on the far sideline, but that may be just a touch short.
Johnny Miller, the ball carrier, is this quarter out of bounds by Canton Richards and William Falkenberry. Gain of a yard on the play, 4th and 4 for Carterville.
Oh.
So it looks like Carterville's going to bring the punt team out.
Yep. So it was a gain of 4. 4th and 4 from the 43. Clock continues. Well, it's actually stopped right now after Johnny went out of bounds. Kind of a short kick from Jamie Jones, but Carterville gets a good bounce. It's down inside the 25-yard line to the 24, and that's where the Red Devils are going to take over. This Lions broadcast brought to you by Mayor Brad Robinson in the city of Carterville. A couple of traffic things to know about. West Illinois is closed by the Water Office tonight and tomorrow night for the Dance Fall Fest. And then don't forget about South Division Street remains open, but you get to that excavation area there on the side of the road due to the water main replacement. Just use a little extra caution. It's all going on there in Carterville. Mayor Brad Robinson and the city of Carterville say, here we go, Lions. So Murphy has it, 1st and 10 from their own 24.
They're going to have to dial up some offense and work quickly here.
The 11-minute mark trying to get to the outside and finally ridden out of bounds. Jack Dodson with the tackle.
You may see him flirt with the sidelines a little bit, start playing the clock game some. Probably going to take a shot or two, try to get that quick hit home run.
28-0 is the score. Next week, Carterville on the road to wrap up the regular season at Anna Jonesboro. Murphysboro is going to be taking on DuQuoin. So Schuler, waist-high snap, gives it to his jetback.
I thought he got caught up in the pile, and I thought the play was going to be blown dead, and then he somehow rolls out of it, and I'm not sure if he gained any yards because of that. I felt like he had moved forward.
Looks like they're going to
They did, yeah.
They're giving him the mark.
Yeah, they gave him the forward momentum on that. But it was a late whistle as far as stopping the play. Carterville was still trying to strip the ball and get him to the ground when he was 3 yards back from where he was initially stopped.
Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 35 for the Red Devils. Again, back off the carrier for the Devils.
0 gain on that play.
Most importantly, the clock is ticked down under 10 minutes remaining here.
It has, and Murphy doesn't seem to have any sense of urgency whatsoever. They're running the play clock down under 10 seconds. They're just now getting to play to the huddle with 6 seconds to go on the play clock. I don't see how they're going to get it off.
1 second.
It's got to be a penalty.
Nope, that's going to be a penalty. And flag comes in from the back judge. It's going to be a delay of game. As you said, Jacob Schuler didn't get back to the huddle till what? 8 seconds left?
Yeah, and it's 2nd and 10. You've got a lot in the playbook you can use on 2nd and 10. It's not like it's a 3rd and long, and you're down to your, the back page of the playbook on that one. You need to have something ready to go so that you can keep this game moving.
But now it's 2nd down and 15 after the penalty.
It's not easy to score 21 points on Carterville's defense, and it's really hard to do it in 1 quarter.
Wow, all those options in the backfield. Carey takes it out, gain of about 6, it looks like. So 3rd down and 9. Officially the 8.
It's something you see a lot when you play Murphysboro. They're really good at it. They run a lot of options, a lot of people through there. They try to trick you, get you misdirection, leaning the wrong way, and then give the ball to the last guy coming through the zone. And it's just something you have to adjust to and just weather the storm.
On the jet sweep, trying to get to the outside on the carry. Trzaski.
Good tackle, Zach Carter on that. I saw our safety, Jack Dotson, comes up to provide some pressure. There's a little bit of help on the run defense. And instead of letting him get outside, Jack did a really good job of forcing the running back into his help. Now we've got a 4th and 8.
Yep.
From
the 37.
Yeah, Murphysboro's own sideline. And they did get out of bounds with the clock stop, but still 10 seconds, and they're just now breaking the huddle on the play clock.
28-7 is the score. 4th down and 8. And 1st down yardage for the Red Devils. Moves the chains on the carry from Keegan Shields. It's a big run.
It was a big run. Drake Cappy did everything he could do. He was being blocked. They had a good downfield block on Drake. He sheds the block and gets in front of him, and really the key to hanging on to win this game is just going to be keep the ball in front of you if you're on the defense. As long as it doesn't get behind you, it's going to take them a long time to get to that end zone.
1st and 10 from the plus 45 of Carterville. Now Schuler brings a man in motion. Ball inside handoff again. The double handoff that they run. And gain of about 7.
Well, defensively, you don't know who's going to end up with the ball. So if you're a linebacker, you can be a little cautious, staying back, waiting to see what they're going to end up doing, what hole they're going for, and you get blocked in the meantime, and it's difficult to be aggressive when you don't know where it's going to end up.
Hughes with the carry, takes it out. Close to a 1st down. They haven't marked it yet. It looks like it's going to be just a little bit short. Nope, they're going to move the chains after they eyeball it.
Seemed like an easy one to call considering the down marker was on the 35-yard line, and they got the ball hovering over the 35-yard line. I don't know what took them so long, but
oh, good job. Shields with the ball. 4 Carterville Lions right there to wrap up Shields. They were led by Jamie Jones.
Jamie Jones, Carter Jones, Jeremiah Bouchard, and Jackson Smith was all there to help out.
So 2nd and 12 for the Red Devils. They bring Shields in motion. Schuler rolls left. Throws it out off the fingertips of his receiver. It was intended for Logan Tanner. But now 3rd down and 12.
Good coverage all the way around.
Yeah.
He was not open. The safety came over and picked him up, but there was nobody open, and he had to get rid of the ball because as soon as he let go of it, Andy Johnson rode him all the way to the ground. I was talking with someone earlier in the week about how good of a job our defensive backs have done this year. They've done a fantastic job in coverage, but there's also this caveat that they're getting a lot of help from their defensive line, who's always putting pressure on the quarterback. You don't have to guard for very long, but they've been taking care of business back there this year.
3rd and 12. Schuler throws it across, has his man popped, and Carterville brings down Vaughn short of the 1st down. It's going to depend on the mark, and they're going to give him the mark. I thought he made a move after that was short of the line to gain, but they're going to move the chains.
Yeah, he got spun around, and I think part of that spin included getting his nose across the 25-yard line, which is good enough for a 1st down. But We're now under 6 minutes to go. 28-7 still.
So now the ball rests right at the 25-yard line. Jacob Schuler, the junior quarterback for Murphy. Good snap. Lobs it up the right side. Out there intended for Vaughn. Good defense, knocks it down. Falls incomplete. Second down now.
That's not an easy task to guard Vaughn out in the open field. He's shown some explosion, some speed, and he's got pretty good hands, but Zach Carter had him absolutely blanketed that time. There was no chance for him to catch that ball.
You know, you talk about the defensive backs. Remember the first week, though, they were a little kind of shaky there early on, but they made some big plays late in the game.
Well, several of them were new to the position,
yeah.
or at least new to the starting lineup.
It's the give to Shields. Keegan takes it down after a short gain. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 7 for the Red Devils from the 23-yard line. So a big defensive stop here would be nice for Carterville and Coach Brett Dial.
Yeah, if Murphysboro scores, it's a 2-possession game. The onside kicking game into play.
Absolutely. So now, here's Schuler. Lifts the leg. And that may be against Murphy.
Yeah, they're pointing down here at Vaughn as if he had moved early and he seemed a little frustrated with himself. I think that's the call we're going to get.
So instead of 3rd down and 7, it'll be 3rd and 12. That backs him up to the 28-yard line. So, come on defense, 3rd down and 12 from the 28-yard line. Murphy, Schuler, Jacob Schuler, the quarterback. Screen pass near side. Vaughn has it, and he's brought down right after the catch. And that is Braden Brown that is a happy camper out there.
He is. Braden hit him hard and brought him down. And Jeremiah Bouchard, your defensive tackle, is out there as soon as the ball is caught, too. You run a quick screen, and the defensive tackle is in on the play as soon as he catches it.
17th play of this drive for the Red Devils. They got the ball with 11 minutes left. We're down to 3:41. It's at the 28-yard line of Carterville, so it's 4th and 8. Lions up, 28-7. Pressure. They get a hold of him, and that Lions defense, that is Jamie Jones that takes Schuler to the turf.
Yeah, he's excited after that one, and he should be. Jamie's done a fantastic job tonight. He's been all over the place defensively for sure, and makes a big stop for the Lions. That's going to get enough that might start sending some of the Murphysboro faithful home a little bit early now that play's over.
So Carterville gets the ball back here. 3:22 remaining. Boy, what a big play that was. I don't think anybody touched Jones coming through the line.
No, and he didn't hesitate.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 30. You can bet Carterville's going to run the play clock down. It's at 7-6. And on the outside, Johnny Miller gets across midfield, spins, and is brought down at the 43-yard line.
Just good blocking downfield. Your receiver on that side, Gavin Johnson, gets a block. You've got Jamie Jones out there taking people out. Like, when you're blocking that well downfield, and that's been something that our offense has done very well this year. Our receivers have blocked well in the secondary and on those stretch plays like that, and that really makes a huge difference for your running backs in order to turn those 6-yard gains into 16 or 26.
Under 10 on the play clock now. 2:45 on the game clock. Everybody in tight. Give to the first man through, Carter Jones.
Boy, that hits fast.
Yes, it does.
If they don't get a hand on him in those first 2 steps, he is gone because Carter Jones just ducks his head and goes full speed as soon as the ball snapped. He's showing that explosion that you know you're going to get from him. And in order to stop that defensively, you've got to have the mindset of getting somebody there in order. But when you do, now you've loosened something else up for Jamie Jones or Johnny Miller. Working that play clock now. Carterville's getting the ball down to 6 seconds before we snap it.
And we're under 2 on the game clock. Now Johnson, full house, keeps it himself though. Just falls forward for a couple of big hits. Everybody's finishing those blocks tonight though. Both sides of the ball. So it's 3rd down and 8 after six.
Not less than 90 seconds to play. You can just about settle down, put this one in the books. You get a first down, you're going to.
Yeah. So 3rd and 6 from the 39 now. Johnson hands it off. Jamie Jones trying to get to the outside. Stiff arm.
Wow.
That may be enough to get the first down and more for the Lions. Look at Jamie Jones just taking care of the defender. Stiff arms one to get the first down. Takes it all the way down inside the 20. They're going to mark him down at the 15. Oh, my goodness. That was a good run.
Talk about run after contact. You're right. He laid the stiff arm, and I saw you jump because it was shocking to see that that poor Murphysboro player get flipped over on the stiff arm to the chest from Jamie Jones.
That's going to close it out for the Lions. All they got to do, take a couple of knees. Andy Johnson takes the first one, and that's going to be the ball game, folks. How about that? Carterville, 8 and the streak continues. 28-7, the final score. Carterville improves to 8 and 0. Murphysboro now. How big of a game is this coming up next week for Murphysboro? They are going to be on the road at DuQuoin, and they need a 5th win desperately.
You know that they have a tradition here, an expectation to get to the playoffs every year. They're going to put a lot out to be ready for that game next week. That's a huge win for them. But Carterville, 8-0, love it. We've preserved that perfect season. We got one more job to do next week at Anna, and then we'll start thinking about the second season coming up after that.
28-0, the final score here from Doc Bensini Field in Murphysboro. Postgame show coming up next, brought to you by IBEW Local 702. Stay with us here on News Radio WJPF.
Yeah, 90 here, 90 before the coach. And
thanks.
Else you need.
All right, Bob, thanks.
Served with a smile. You're listening to Carterville Lions football on News Radio 1340, WJPF Heron, W258DP Heron 99.5 FM.
Looking for the right shoe with the right fit for running, hiking, or walking? RTS Outfitters in Marion is just for you. At RTS Outfitters, they do a unique 4-step fitting process that reveals your gait and foot characteristics. The right shoe with the right fit just for you to help reduce injuries and increase comfort. RTS Outfitters carries top brands like Hoka, Brooks, On Cloud, North Face, Garmin, and more, plus accessories and hydration supplies. Visit RTS Outfitters in Marion or at rtsoutfitters.com.
John A. Logan College is proud to support area high schools in the classroom and on the playing field. John A. Logan offers high school students the opportunity to earn college credit while in high school. Students can get a jump start on their college careers while saving money. After high school, students can easily transition to one of the college's career and technical education programs or a traditional baccalaureate transfer program. No matter your path, you'll know why everyone says, why would
28-7, the final score here this evening. Carterville improves and keeps that undefeated record alive, 8-0. Murphy now 4-4, and they've got a tough road game next week when they head to DuQuoin to take on the Indians.
They have that game coming up. Carterville is going to try to take care of business. You know, one of the things that I noticed about this game is that Carterville and Murphysboro, they're not always friendly. And sometimes whenever they play each other, whether it be any sport, they have a really good rivalry. Sometimes it gets a little chippy, and I felt like tonight both teams played pretty clean. Now, there might have been some talk going on down on the field, but we didn't see any blatantly unsportsmanlike play through the night. A lot of kids helping each other up from both sides. Good gentlemanly game, it seemed, from up here. I was pleasantly surprised to see that type of character being displayed from where we were sitting.
Just a good ball game. First I thought it was going to be a runaway, the way Carterville came out and jumped out on them 14-0. But man, you got to give credit to Gary Carter. You know, I'm sure that little surge that we saw there in the second part of the second quarter was him probably having to come to Jesus meeting with his team saying, hey, you're on the verge of getting blown out of this thing. You can either buck up or you can just kneel down and let them take it. And they did play much better after that.
Well, you said they have a lot to play for next week, but they had a lot to play for this week.
Absolutely.
And you have your home field advantage, and you have your senior night. And Carterville fought through that and took care of business. And it doesn't matter if the score is 28-7 or if it's 8-7. It's a win. And Carterville is ready to go on to Week 9.
Absolutely. Next week on the road at Anna Jonesboro to wrap up the regular season. 28-7 is the final score. Team breakdown is done on the field. That means Coach should be making his way up this way. Darren Kennard probably grab him first, I would bet. Speaking of Darren Kennard, don't forget, coming up later tonight, he's not at Chester. He's not at Olney where he had car trouble. He was right here in Murphysboro. I can pick him up and take him to the radio station if he has car trouble.
He could probably walk home from here if he had to.
But tune in to Darren tonight on Facebook, and when I look at the clock, it's 9:15. I would say probably about 10:30 or so. He'll go live on Facebook updating scores from around southern Illinois and let you know what's going on. That's coming up with Darren Kennard tonight, River Radio Sports Central, Friday night live. We're going to go on and take a break here on our post-game show. Brought to you by IBEW, Local 702, providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all. We'll be back.
Growing up in Southern Illinois, you learn the importance of helping others. I'm Caden Hawkins, and it's one of the reasons that I'm proud to represent this region as a member of SIU's Saluki men's basketball team. It's also why I'm glad to be a Banterra customer because they support our communities. Plus, I can open my account online, and with their Saluki Visa debit card, I know my purchases contribute to SIU scholarships and athletics. That was an easy win for me. Banterra Bank, official partner of Saluki Athletics, member FDIC.
Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. Joe's Lawn Service, Carterville, is a locally owned and operated business serving Southern Illinois for over 20 years, specializing in much more than commercial or residential lawn care. Joseph McMahon and his crew can do snow removal, bush hogging, tree trimming, or tree removal, landscaping maintenance, and much more. Call 534-8148. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. 534-8148. That's 534-8148.
Don't let the name fool you. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, represents more than just electricians. The IBEW is made up of Southern Illinois linemen, tree trimmers, telephone workers, utility workers, city employees, factory workers, construction workers, and many more. So when you support the IBEW, you're really supporting Southern Illinois. Help make Southern Illinois a brighter place. Put your trust in the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all.
28-0 is our final score here from Murphysboro. Dave McKenzie, Keenan Clark with you. Lions are now 8-0 on the season as Coach Brett Dial jumps in here and joins us in the press box. And what a good ball game this evening for the Carterville Lions. Coach joins us, our John A. Logan College coach's show. John A. Logan College, charge into your future. What a start for your Lions tonight. That was important. They finally made some adjustments. But you guys, Brett Dial, that was just a fantastic ball game.
Yeah, I'm proud of our guys. That defense to come over here and hold these guys to just the 7 points and really off just the one big play, it was phenomenal. That fourth quarter, I still didn't feel safe. They had the ball, but gosh, they were taking 6-7 minutes off the clock because they couldn't get a big one. And yeah, they got a couple first downs and extended it, but
it's a 17-play drive there in the fourth quarter.
For them, 17-play drive, they didn't get any points.
Yeah.
So great job by the defense, and and offensively, I thought we did a great job of coming out hot. We really threw a couple big punches right out of the gate, got them down, playing on their heels a little bit, and they had to kind of get out of their game plan. And but when you can run the football and you can stop the run, you're going to win a lot of ball games.
We've spent the last few weeks talking about how well we've been running the ball out of the bone and the double tight set and your goal line stuff. But we ran the ball out of spread really well tonight, and that opened things up for us. And we threw the ball well out of spread tonight. I was glad to see Harrell and Johnson really seemed to be on the same page.
Right. We came out and got in our bone stuff and hit them quick. And we basically on the sideline saying, okay, we're going to stay in this until they stop it. And then, they did. They're a good team. They're well coached. They made some adjustments. They brought everybody, and we said, all right, now we're going to spread them out. And I think that they weren't, on the screen pass, I think we got into a personnel grouping, and I don't think they caught it. And they were a man short over there, and Hayden got a little bit of a window there, and he's pretty quick, and he doesn't need a lot of room, and he had just enough. But I think we got him out of their personnel grouping on that play, and then we came out of the half and said we're going to spread it out, and we're going to run this thing and not let them just bring the house and tee off on us.
And you executed.
Everybody. We had a couple. There's a couple that we're going to kick ourselves. We have the ball. We start a drive on their 8-yard line, and we don't get any points off it. We can't do that. If we want to win playoff games, we have to put something on the board there. And we were going to go for a field goal, and then something happened with the snaps, and it was a bad possession. But I'm not gonna get too caught up on that. They guessed right, and then got us on the sack on a play action, and then we had a bad snap on our field goal.
That sack that Jamie Jones had there late in the game. It was like he was shot out of our cannon at home.
Right. Yeah, those guys made plays all night. We had some great interception from Drake Cappy.
Oh, yeah.
That got up over somebody, and then obviously the sack there to finish the game out. But, just big plays all night. Johnny had some big runs. Carter Jones came in and got some tough yards for us. Hayden Harrell made some big plays for us. Got the ball spread around a little bit, and we got it done.
Yeah, really, really diverse display tonight. And like you said, when we made that sack, if they score there, then it's a 2-possession game with 4 minutes to go. And we were just talking about, let's hope our onside kick, our hands team are ready for that, because you're going to see a couple of those really quickly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's 28-7, they're driving it, and apparently 17-play drive, like you said. And I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna score here. They're wearing us down a little bit. They're gonna score. Then we're gonna have an onside kick for just to make this really interesting. If they get it, they're gonna take a shot right away. And I'm just trying to play about 7 plays ahead of what could possibly happen in my head, thinking, all right, let's get a stop here and just avoid all that nonsense and get out of here.
It's hard to believe we're looking at week 9 next week at AJ.
Right.
Playoff pairings are going to come up out on Saturday.
A week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow. I would say that you have to be pretty happy where your Lions team is going into week 9 and looking at the playoffs right around the corner.
Yeah, if I'm not happy about being 8-0 and just getting another conference championship with a group that we had to replace quite a bit of all of our skill kids from last year.
Totally forgot about the conference.
We graduated basically every skill kid from last year, and now we brought some linemen back, but the guys that have come in and stepped up and next man up mentality just have been phenomenal. But yeah, like I said, it's conference champions and it's awesome.
You got anything else?
No, great job tonight, Coach. Congratulations, conference championship, and let's come out and close that perfect season next week.
That's what we're going to do, buddy. All right, we're going to go down there and take care of it.
Thanks, Coach. Brett Dial joining us here on our post-game show. 28-7, the final score. Lions win it here this evening. As we said, we're going to Anna Jonesboro next Friday night to wrap up the regular season, and then we'll have the playoff pairing show coming up on Saturday, 7 o'clock. Darren Kennard, Matt Varney, and myself will have all the playoff pairings. Why don't you wrap us up, Bo?
Well, good finish for the night. Carterville Lions, conference champs on the Ohio side.
How
once
about
again.
That's just outstanding. So proud of this team, and the improvements that they make, and the bend don't break defense, and the offense that can run the ball, threw the ball a little bit here tonight, and just an all-around good ball game.
Yeah, that was a fun one to watch, and even though it looked early on like Carterville was just going to run away with it, it eventually turned into a bit of a chess match, and it was a physical game, and I just think that Carterville was more physical than Murphysboro, and that was the difference.
Don't forget, tomorrow's SIU game has been moved up 2 hours. It's going to be a noon kickoff at Saluki Stadium. Pregame coverage is going to start at 11 o'clock with Luke Martin, Mike Trude, Coach Poor, and then Sports Voice tomorrow morning. We're just going to be in the studio, so for 3 hours we're going to talk sports, and we'll spend the last hour or so really kind of focusing on this Saluki game. It's a big game tomorrow as North Dakota comes to town to Saluki Stadium. Brian Arpal back at the studio. Thank you very much for my broadcast partner, Keenan Clark. I'm Dave McKenzie. Lions win it tonight, 28-7. They remain undefeated. They're conference champs and going to Anna Jonesboro Week 9. Thank you for listening here on News Radio WJPF. God bless everybody.
This has been a broadcast of
All right, gentlemen, thank you, and we will talk to you next week.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Brian.
Mm-hmm.